Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Good to see you. Good to be seen wherever you are, however you may be listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. It's the friendliest Friday on the internet. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for those of you who showed up early on YouTube. It's always nice to see you. Did we get any hat guesses correct? Don't see. Let me jump in the VC over here with Jen. Shit, where is it? Oh, I'm here before Jen. Guys, I'm in the VC before Jen. I was more prepared than Jen was today. Take that. Good morning, you gaggle of chuckle fucks. That's cute. I kind of like that. I don't know what's going on with my chat. It's only pulling chat from Twitch right now. Let's see if refreshing. Oh, there we go. Now we're good. It's even pulling in the TikTok chat. Unbelievable. Welcome everybody on TikTok too. As you're rolling in on TikTok, just hit that like button, share, or not the like button, hit the heart button, and then share it with some friends. Let's make sure that we keep it protected. We are going to talk about Epstein, and that tends to get the lives taken down. So if you could help me out there with the shares, that'd be wonderful. As a reminder, today it's Friendly Friday, so the last hour of the show today, we take friendlies. Make sure you're in the Discord if you want to join for Friendly Friday. And I look forward to talking to some of you. Today is 2 hours. George Santos goes to prison today. That's right. I remember that. I saw who did his last interview. He was saying that he's very worried. He was like, I shouldn't really laugh because it is terrifying. I have to be honest, like as a gay man going to prison, and somebody who George Santos said, like, I'm not tough, I don't know how to fight, and somebody who's also a politician, there's gonna be a lot of hatred there, and there's gonna probably it's probably not gonna be the safest time. The American prison system is dog shit. We should probably remember that. I saw something the other day that we represent like 22% or 28% of the world's prison population. That's not ideal for a country. We point a lot at other countries and talk about how out of control they are and how crime ridden they are, and yet we just lock people up right and left over here. Have I seen the George Santos D&D cameo? No, but we're about to see it. Give me all the George Santos. Inject it directly into my veins. He did a Santos D. Can I watch this? Can we watch this on stream? Am I going to get in trouble if I watch this? Anybody know? D&D like Dungeons and Dragons? Is that? Let's see. Lorie Valow is getting sentenced right now. She is? I was just talking to Brandon. Is it live? Is that happening right now? I literally was just talking to Brandon like 20 minutes ago. For any of you who don't know, Lorie Vallow is a psychopath, and she tried to murder my friend. Let's see.
Crusha?
Yes.
What would you like to say?
Oh, we're doing victim statements.
All right, let's see.
Think?
My name is Crusha K. Trahan, and I stand before this court today as a voice for the shattered remains of my family. A family that has been ruthlessly decimated. Not only were lives stolen, but also our peace, our trust, and the very fabric of what a family should be. Charles, my uncle, and my mother Kay's beloved brother, was so much more than just a relative. He was a
Oh shit, I was muted. God damn it. I was muted. That's my bad. That was my bad. I was muted. That's on me. I was confused. Jen's not here. How long was I muted for? All right, shit. This is a bad start. I'm a
Can
little.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You were muted for like 5 to 10 seconds.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay. I didn't find the George Santos Dungeons and Dragons cameo. Is this it? Let's see.
I've been alerted that Sneeko is.
No, that can't be it. If anybody has it, send it to Jen. I'll be happy to play it as long as I'm allowed to play it here. All right, Jen, you want to do your announcements since I got off to such a rough start?
Honestly, I don't have them to do right this minute, so we're just having a rough Friday morning. So we're all just going. We're all having it rough. So we're all taking it rough. So
don't say it that way. Somebody clip it.
Well, that's why I said it that way, because I have to keep it at least semi-normal for us. I mean, I guess I can do. I don't have a joke, and some people don't find my jokes funny anyway, so that's all right. Yeah, so it's
Jen's going through it this morning.
I'm just tired. I'm really tired.
You don't laugh at my jokes anyways.
No, I know. Honestly, I'm so indifferent to just about everything right now. So did I hear you say that we're doing 2 hours today for the show? Or you didn't?
No, did I say that?
Yeah, I heard something. I saw someone say it in the comments, like, "Oh, something about 2 hours today." I don't know if.
Oh no, I was reading that about the Lorie Valow. I was reading something that said 2 hours until George Santos or something.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I said 2 hours. Did I say it 2 hours? I don't know. We're not doing 2 hours. Anyway. We're doing 2.5 and then an hour of Friendly Friday.
Oh, got it. Okay, that makes more sense. Anyways, so yeah, we're doing the show for the whole length of time. Friendly Friday for the last hour of it. So gift goals at the top, depending on where you're watching. It's either at the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen. Should be $3.50. So Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Super Chats, all of that go towards knocking out that gift goal. Please subscribe to wherever you're watching, and check out our link tree. We're on most social media platforms. We've got merch. We're on Jay's on Cameo, and we upload these episodes to Spotify. And what else am I forgetting? Have you scheduled any other debates or anything like that upcoming soon?
No. I'm there's like 3 different debates in the works, but trying to nail down a time is difficult. So right now, no.
I'm gonna hit all of them, aren't
I? One of them seems like it might be really boring. We'll see. I'm not sure. So far I don't think you won't hate them. They're not worse than Andrew.
Okay. I mean, that's the bars in hell. So.
Yeah.
So yeah. Like I said, we do this till 1:00. We wrapped up the show at 1:00. The last hour we'll be doing Friendly Fridays. So if we could make a dent in that gift goal, that would be awesome. So no joke, that's it.
All right. Already live restricted on TikTok. Thanks, TikTok. We love being here, and thanks, Cat E, leading the way over on TikTok with the gifts. Like Jen said, we have to do this to be crowdfunded, and it's until we're not, this is what we have to do. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for helping us grow and allowing us to do this full time for our job. We appreciate it. Johnny said, "Are you muted?" I was, Johnny, and I apologize for that. Let's start with our favorite. Why is that? There we go. Our favorite pollster, Harry Enton. Let's take a look at how Trump's doing with independent voters.
Harry. We are talking about independence, Mr. Berman. I will say this is the biggest warning sign, the biggest danger sign for President Trump in his second term so far. Why is that? Because it does not appear that there is a bottom to which Donald's support can't fall to. What are we talking about? Trump's net approval rating with independents. You know, there was all this hubbub about Gallup that came out this past week. You see, back in January, it was -2 points. Now it's -35 points. But what's important here is Gallup is largely matching the average. Back in January, in the average, Trump's net approval rating with independents was -3. Look at where it's fallen to now, -29 points.
It could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody. It's probably nothing. There's probably no real reason why numbers are plummeting like that. It's just, it happens to everybody. Every president 6 months in has their approval rating drop by 37 points. It's a very, very normal thing among independents.
That is a drop of over 25 points with the key part of the electorate. If you're not winning among independents, you're probably not winning overall.
Oh, I did that math wrong. 33 points. So I did there. And 26 there.
Your net approval ratings minus 29 points. You're definitely not winning overall when you're that low with independents.
It's just the size of the drop. I mean, it's staggering.
It's huge.
Okay.
Already, every politician is corrupt. Yeah, but not every politician is stupid. Not all of them are in the Epstein files and trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. Like, there's nothing to see here. Not every politician has sent out masked marauders to track down immigrants and arrest them at courthouses and at work. Yeah, like some politicians, maybe most politicians are corrupt. This isn't about corruption. It's about dipshittery. Mostly about dipshittery. This guy's a fucking idiot. So his corruption is really, really obvious. And his corruption doesn't seem to have any real rhyme or reason or benefit. There's no actual benefit. There we go. We're bad at CNN. Did we already get somebody say CNN? Not CNN! We don't watch that. Everything there is fake. Listen, I'll get to it in a second.
So how does this compare historically?
Yeah, we were talking about Trump's overall approval rating, that it was the second worst overall. But we look among independents, it is the worst on record at this point. My goodness gracious, worst net approval ratings ever 6 months in among independents. Last time around, Trump broke the all-time record at minus 23 points. He is even lower than that now at minus 29 points. He has broken his own record for the worst on record.
Now, here's what we got to do, though. We did this last time. Look, this happened in 2017. And what happened in 2018, Democrats had a huge pickups in the midterms. And then what did they do with that? Basically not a goddamn thing. And they didn't do anything because they don't really have any plan. And there still doesn't seem to be any plan here. So while it's obvious to me why these numbers are slipping for Trump, what's not obvious to a lot of people is the path forward, like the alternate path. So Democrats, if there's anybody listening from party leadership, could you guys not suck for a while? And then could you get the people who do suck the fuck out? Could we use this as an opportunity to change some things? Could you guys stop taking Trump's bait on everything and just like go in there and fix healthcare and go in there and fix wealth inequality, and then do something about the fact that China's kicking our dicks in? Do something about currency manipulation. Just go in and do things that make things better for the American people. That'd be cool. You could just go in front of a microphone and you could say, look at this guy. He sucks. He's not doing anything good. We're going to do good things, and then just write a list of good things that you're going to do. Like, we're going to do universal health care, and everybody in this country is going to have health care, and here's how we're going to pay for it, and it's not going to add to the deficit, and here's where we're going to cut spending in the Defense Department, and here's how we're going to start lowering deficit spending. Oh, and by the way, we're going to tax rich people a little bit more, and oh, by the way, we're gonna do something about wealth inequality. We're gonna protect the labor of American citizens. Just simple shit like that, and you'll win. Don't run on Trump bad, please. Trump bad is if there's not like a better solution. We got lots of better solutions. We've got really good people that don't get enough voices in the Democratic Party. Just everybody in the DNC should shut up for a while and let AOC and Bernie do the talking. Why can't Democrats do? I don't know why they don't do this, Nicole. I have no idea.
I said at the beginning, there appears to be no fall, and Trump is certainly falling through that floor.
So during the Biden administration, I think there was a lot of thinking that maybe enough focus wasn't being paid to the effect that inflation had on people's thinking. And it may very well be that inflation's playing a bigger role in opinions than we recognize.
Yeah, so inflation in my mind was what cost Joe Biden the presidency more than any other factor, and it brought him down. But guess what? Donald Trump at this point, his net approval rating on inflation among independents, it's actually worse than Biden's was a year ago.
I gotta tell you, as somebody who was on the Biden side in this last election and before it was Harris, we were saying over and over and over again, just trying to explain inflation to everyday people, is that we had COVID, we had supply chain problems, inflation skyrocketed, and then it was coming back down. And nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared that it was coming back down. All they really cared about, because people aren't looking at like the actual inflation rate. This is a lesson that we all learned the hard way. Nobody looks at that. They say, how does it feel? Does it feel like inflation is down? Does it feel like I can afford more? No, it doesn't. That's a lesson we learned the hard way from Biden, and it's a lesson that you guys need to learn. Everybody that comes in here, somebody did it just a minute ago, like, inflation under 3%, go Trump, go. Yeah, do it. See how that works. Double down on all the shit that helped Joe Biden lose. Just double down on that, please. It'll go really well for you.
Biden was way, way underwater at minus 38 points. But look at Trump and the average of polls on inflation.
Sorry, for those of you that are on TikTok, you are welcome to come up here and debate. However, we are live streaming not only to TikTok, we're live streaming also to YouTube and Twitch, which is where most of our audience is. So if you want to talk to us, you just need to talk to us through Discord. So you're going to add Jen. There's the username there. The Venmo username is the same as the Discord username. It's JENNDUBB1. You just add her on Discord and she can bring you up to talk. But yeah, if you're on TikTok, you're not going to be able to use the request button. It just doesn't work that way. So sorry about that. And I would be happy to talk to Republicans all day today until it's Friendly Friday. Any of you are welcome to come up. And those of you in the chat, encourage your Republican friends to come up here and have a discussion.
Oh my goodness gracious, minus 45 points. I never thought I'd see the day, especially this early on in the Trump administration. The issue that in large part got him elected is at this point the issue more so than any other that is dragging him down. If this is what we have on midterm day come 2026, I can promise you this. The Republican majority in the House, you can wave adios amigos, goodbye to it, because Republicans, simply put, can't win with this.
If you do that, the Republicans are going to yell at you to speak English. If you say adios amigos, they'll be very upset about that. I just want to give just one guess what party this is from. I don't. Who's this TikTok uses? WBF, WPBF 25 News.
We are following some breaking news here in the WPBF 25 newsroom. A city commissioner in Fort Pierce has been accused of sending nude images to a 12-year-old girl in Illinois. This is the commissioner we're talking about. His name is James Taylor. He is 38 years old, and he was arrested this morning in Fort Pierce. According to the sheriff's office arrest report, the commissioner...
Hey, Brandon. I bet this isn't the only thing you can't last 5 minutes with. Boom, roasted.
Started contacting the 12-year-old girl who lives in Evanston last summer. The girl's mother then discovered this communication and contacted police. That's how this investigation started. We also know that Taylor now faces 24 felony counts. Those counts include transmission of materials harmful to minors, harmful communication with a minor, solicitation of transmission of child pornography.
Now, I didn't have it verified, but there appears to be also a Texas congressman who has decided to step down because it's just he wants to be with his family. And the rumor is actually he got a bunch of people pregnant and paid for abortions. And he's a Republican who advocated strongly for anti-abortion laws and then paid for a bunch of abortions. You guys can look that up. It hasn't been verified yet, so that's why I'm not covering it. But that's the rumor that's out there. Brendan Carr, Trump's FCC chair, and remember this, one of the big parts of Project 2025 and echoed by Agenda 47 was that Trump would put loyalists in charge of the FTC. Three specific examples: the FTC, the FCC, and the FEC. And basically what Project 2025 called for is that anybody who wants to investigate any of these departments requires approval from these departments. It was specific that the FCC chair would be a Trump loyalist who would act on behalf of the president, and that's who we have here. They deleted those videos off of Agenda 47. This was one of the ones they deleted. I guess because it was going to come back to bite him in the ass. I'm not sure. But here's FCC Chairman Brendan Carr talking about that Paramount deal and whether or not Stephen Colbert being fired had anything to do with Trump and this FCC needing to approve this merger.
The timing was interesting, though, and so was the settlement where the CBS Paramount had to pay $16 million to President Trump to settle the lawsuit, and now some Democrats are saying this is just bribery. Did that need to happen for you to approve this deal? Was that part of it?
Well, it's interesting to me, you know, as the new owners of CBS came in, they made a commitment to making progress on bias and actually trying to move back towards fact-based journalism. And as soon as they did that, Democrats in the House all of a sudden launched an investigation. I guess.
Interesting. So he's saying that this, he's saying, and they're all saying this isn't political, of course, but they're also saying that the new ownership came in and promised that they would do more balanced journalism. First of all, Stephen Colbert is not a journalist. He can joke about whatever the fuck he wants. If Stephen Colbert wants to dedicate his entire show to shitting on Donald Trump, who cares? Right? He's not a journalist. This isn't about CBS journalism. This is about this administration not wanting jokes to be said about Donald Trump. Why are these places like CBS coming in and promising more fair journalism towards Donald Trump in the first place? But secondly, is this extending out now? Is extending out towards to comedy? And by the way, I'm going to show you in a few minutes Fox News editing another Trump clip to make him not look like the dipshit that he is. There will be no lawsuit there. Trump's not going to say anything about that, but just weird how this guy who's not political immediately is talking politics, immediately is talking about the politics of this deal.
We can't have that. I guess we can't have a return to fact-based journalism. Look, the reality is there's three very separate things going on here. There was this lawsuit involving President Trump, which was outside of the FCC, didn't have anything to do with us. We had this transaction before us, and we also have a news distortion complaint against CBS. The news distortion complaint is still pending at the FCC. We haven't made a final decision on that, but those are three separate things that have been proceeding.
The timing was.
Jon Stewart said that Brendan Carr is sending Colbert nasty emails. Is that true? Did Brendan Carr send emails? Let's see. Please tell me that's true. If anybody has that, I don't see it here. I don't know if that's true or not. A lot of you have asked me to play the older millennial body cam footage. I'm just gonna be honest with where I'm at there. Like I'm actually pretty torn on this. I really fucking don't like that guy, and he's a really bad person. Just being honest. And when other people have been arrested and abused by the police, he said that they had it coming. But I also think I'm fairly certain. I don't know if this is true or not. Like I've been told that he has a daughter. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I want to pile on there. If we're being honest, I think that that's a really embarrassing moment, and I think he's I don't think he's a very good person, but I don't really want to pile on there. I don't want to kick somebody when they're down. I'll go toe to toe with older millennial, and I'll talk shit like we have face to face about the stuff that we're talking about, but it's clear that guy's life isn't going very well right now. And so I just don't want to kick him while he's down. But I also understand a lot of you who have interacted with him on a regular basis. I understand feeling vindicated. I saw Good Trouble's video. I think Good Trouble kind of had like a similar reaction, but then he was caught out. He saw older millennial like talking shit, so he posted it anyways. I'm not trying to tell anybody else how to feel. I'm just telling you I feel kind of conflicted about playing that, so I decided ultimately I wasn't going to play that, but it's everywhere if you want to go see it. You can find it all over TikTok. He's not going to be able to hide that. I wanted to show you this. So I saw this clip. I watched this actually the whole thing, but I want to show you 50 seconds of this. Trump went down to the Federal Reserve to oversee a construction project. He has, I don't know if this is a parrot here. I don't know what's his name again. This is the guy that got engaged. Tim Scott. This is Tim Scott. And Tim Scott, for whatever reason, makes a big mistake here. Tim Scott is going to back Donald Trump's misinformation. Now, let's be very clear about something. Donald Trump came here and he staged this, and he brought Jerome Powell into these cameras because Donald Trump was going to show America that Jerome Powell can't be trusted. And Donald Trump came prepared with a gotcha. For all you guys that complain about gotcha journalism, Trump came prepared with not only a printout, a highlighted printout with a little arrow attached to it showing this is the part that you need to read. And it backfired tremendously.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about $3.1 billion. It went up a little bit.
He's talking about the cost of these construction projects.
Or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah,
I think he knew. I think he knew that Jerome Powell was going to be like, I don't know. And kudos to Jerome Powell. One of the things that has driven me nuts about people dealing with President Trump is that oftentimes, because he's the president, they defer to him and they just let him sit there and lie. And then later on they'll come on camera and they'll be like, oh, I didn't really know. Like, I didn't really want to cause a big problem right there. I knew he was lying, but it was no big deal. Not Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell's like, fuck you, show me.
I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Now look at this. There's a little marker here on the paper pointing to what we should talk about. You can see that this paper is also highlighted. It appears to just be a PDF, or I mean, like a Word doc. It appears to just be typing here, not an actual news article. Trump has that prepared, hands it over to Powell. Maybe because Trump can't read. I'm not sure.
Said it about 3.1 as well.
3.1,
3.2.
And then you have this is what made me laugh. Tim Scott's like, yeah, you're right. It's 3.1, maybe 3.2. He just, there you go, Don. There you go. I'm backing you up. First of all, why is he the person that is backing up these numbers? But as we're about to find out, those numbers are incorrect.
Came from us.
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built.
Yeah. So he says, oh, all you did there is you took our number, 2.7 billion, and you added another building to make it 3.1 billion. And that's the Martin building. The Martin building, you're adding that in. So Trump now says, oh, yeah, well, of course, this is all buildings being built. Remember, Trump's claim at the beginning of this is basically that the Fed, the budget was 2.7, now it's 3.1, that they're over budget. Trump's whole attempt here was to come in and claim that they don't know what they're doing and that they're over budget. Obviously, that's not true.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's not new.
Okay, so Trump adds this, $500 million for the Martin building, which is already completed. And then Trump's like, well, you're building it. And he goes, no, we finished that 5 years ago. I don't know who to Trump was president 5 years ago. This shouldn't be new information to Trump. He was president 5 years ago when this was completed. Embarrassing moment for Trump, but not if you're a Fox News viewer, because if you're a Fox News viewer, you didn't see that. They cut it out. And I saw this originally on the 5. This is my own footage, by the way, from my own cell phone. That's why it doesn't look that great. My own screen recording. I even figured out how to screen record shit yesterday. It was a good day for me. Me and technology, we had a good day together. This is what Fox News showed, not only on the 5, but then I saw them on Jesse Waters' show, showed this exact same clip. Look where they edit this out.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built. Nice to take these off.
They cut it off at the lie. It's the building that's being built, cut off. See that?
The third building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built. Nice to take.
Yeah. Just lies. No, Lorie. What I'm showing you right now, this isn't about being anti-Trump, you silly little sausage. This is about your news lying to you all the fucking time. The story I showed right before this was Trump suing CBS for editing a video that made, in his words, Kamala Harris look better, which it didn't. It was absolute nonsense. Fox does this all the time. You don't care. This isn't about hatred for Trump. However, Olive Branch, I do hate him, but I hate him because he's a super dumb bitch. That's why I don't like him. He's one of the most obviously stupid people I've ever seen in front of a microphone, and you guys can't figure it the fuck out. And so a little bit I'm frustrated with you, Lorie, but I'm also frustrated with Donald Trump. I'm frustrated with a lot of MAGA. I don't understand what the fuck you're watching here. I don't understand when you see this guy speak and you're like, oh, yeah, that guy, that made a lot of sense. He never makes any fucking sense. You all know this. Every time Donald Trump gives a press conference and we cover it, every one of you comes in here, that's not what he meant. Yeah, how come we always have to figure out what he meant? Is it because he doesn't speak in complete sentences? Is it because the words he chooses don't make any sense? Is it because he rambles incoherently and he does the weave, where that just means he like looks around the room and says shit? None of it makes any fucking sense. My problem is you're upset with me for not liking a guy, which is fair, but I'm upset with you because he's a dipshit. And I don't know what we do about that, Lorie. I'm not sure what we do about the fact that you can't identify a fucking idiot. Like, I don't know what we do with, like, I show you a video of Fox editing out or editing it so that where it ends on a lie, Trump says this building is still being constructed. That's where they cut it. They leave out the correction. They needed 3 more seconds of that video to have his lie corrected, but it makes Daddy Trump look bad. So yeah, I do hate that. I grew up in a cult where whatever the prophet said was just right. Even when he said some dipshit, dumb shit, we all had to just pretend it wasn't weird. We're just like, oh no, it's totally normal. This is totally normal. We'll just ignore that. That's what you guys all do. So it reminds me of growing up in a cult, and so maybe I get a little triggered from that. Jessica Tarloff has had about enough of Jesse Waters, and I don't blame Tarloff here. Is this it? Yeah. It's not loading.
Jessica Tarloff.
Here we go. On the 5, the guy in the middle here, old Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters is also a fucking liar. Jesse Waters did not read the ICA report that he claims he read. He just has a stack of papers in his hands. And the reason that I know he didn't read this is because I did, and I highlighted it, and we covered most of it yesterday. And I know that what he's about to say is untrue. But like Jesse Waters and like Jessica Tarloff in this situation, none of you have read it either. And so when he lies, you're just going to accept that these lies are true. And all of Fox News right now is running with these 4 talking points, 2 of which are absolute lies, and the other 2, I guess, are true, but they don't matter at all. Let me show you what I mean here.
Did you read the report that Tulsi dropped?
I've read sections of
you
it. I
haven't
did not read all
the
200
report?
pages.
Well, it wasn't
Did you?
200 pages. It was 44.
Oh.
That's why I read them, because it wasn't 200 pages. Did you know that the assessment said that Putin wanted Trump to win? Putin tried to
No, it said Putin preferred candidate Trump.
help Trump win?
True. It did say that Putin tried to help Trump win, and it substantiated in the report all the ways that Russia was trying to help Trump win. So those 2 claims are in the report, and both of them are substantiated with like multiple sources. Both of those are in the report. Both of those are true. The Mueller report confirmed both of those. The Horowitz report confirmed both of those. The Republican-led Senate report in 2018 confirmed. Everybody who has done an investigation into Russia interfering in our election have confirmed that those 2 things are true.
Putin had blackmail on Trump, and
that's not in the report. That's not in this ICA report. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He made that up. That's not in there. You can go search it yourself. You can even just use AI. Ask AI if it's in there, because AI can analyze this. That's not in there. There's nothing about blackmail on Trump in the ICA report. Now, the Steele dossier, there is stuff in there about blackmail on Trump. And what the Steele dossier says is that Russian agents claim they have compromise on Trump. That's accurate. If you put in the Steele dossier that a Russian agent claims to have compromise or blackmail on Donald Trump, that is an accurate thing to put in the Steele dossier. because you're not claiming that it exists. You're claiming that someone says it exists. And that's important. And if you write it out that way, then that's fine. You can have that in the Steele dossier. This is the thing that Republicans love to do to discredit the Steele dossier. Most of it you can neither confirm nor deny. It's not credible or not credible. The claims that are made in there are someone said this. Right? That's why everybody tries to shit on the Steele dossier. But the Steele dossier is just basically a conglomeration of all the things people claimed against Donald Trump. It's not a conglomeration of all the factual things about Trump. But he's lying. That's not in the ICA report. We read it yesterday. You can Google this yourself. That's not in there.
That Putin tried colluding with the Trump campaign.
That's also not in there. There is nothing in the ICA report that was released by Tulsi Gabbard that claims that Obama and his crew are saying that Putin is colluding with Donald Trump. Nothing. There's nothing in that ICA report that says that. So he went 2 for 4. 50% of the claims he just made are accurate, and now he's getting ready to insert Trump into his mouth, which is going to make it difficult to say the rest of this. But now Jesse's going to get real fucking confident with the notes that somebody else wrote for Jesse Waters, because before all things, Jesse Waters is a lazy, anti-intellectual fuck. So he just reads what's on a paper, and then he gets really fucking excited about it, which is what he's going to do now.
All of those things were erroneous, and they could.
2 of the 4 were not erroneous. The other 2 also not erroneous, but also not in the report.
True.
The intelligence
Putin wanted Trump to win.
No,
Putin
did you
tried
read
to
the
help
report?
Trump.
Okay, so if you had read the report, you would have known
Jesse,
that Putin had no preference who won.
That's not true.
That also is not in the ICA report. In the ICA report, and in fact, what the Republicans concluded in the ICA report is not that Putin didn't want that. It's that there's other plausible explanations for why he said that, or why the person who said it, which was not a direct quote from Putin. It was an asset that we don't know the name of because it's been redacted. But what the ICA report says is that, yes, that's what it says, but there could be other explanations for it. Maybe you could interpret it differently. These are not lies. Jesse Waters is just like a spoon-fed bitch who just, here's what's on the paper today, probably written out by like Stephen Miller or somebody at the White House.
Okay, you obviously didn't read the report.
That actually has
Jesse
nothing
didn't either.
to do with this.
Yes, it does.
Well, that's
No, it
one of the
doesn't.
main points in the report.
The report
No, it's not.
is erroneous.
Why?
No.
Well,
You didn't
yes,
read?
because
No, Jessica,
you guys
I
are
was the
literally
campaign
going
manager.
back.
I'm sick of it. We spent years.
That was a bad choice of words by Jessica here. Now here comes Kellyanne Conway, because Kellyanne Conway doesn't have anything to say and she's not relevant anymore. And so Kellyanne Conway is going to center herself now, and she's going to make this all about her and the victim complex, the perpetual victim complex of the MAGA movement. You guys are the whiniest bunch of bitches I've ever seen in my life. You're in power. You have the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court, and you're still just complaining about how everything is unfair. And so Kellyanne's like, here's an opportunity for me to say why life was unfair for me.
Because
no, Jessica,
you guys
I
are
was the
literally
campaign
going
manager.
back.
I'm sick of it. We spent years.
This is crazy. Hold on. I'm so sorry. We have to address this in the chat. Aaron says, AI is so left-wing based or biased. I've tested it. It's scary, really. What's another possible explanation there for why AI is biased against Donald Trump? What's another? Let's just say come up with other plausible scenarios. Why else might AI keep coming up with answers that are the opposite of what Donald Trump says? What possible explanation could there be for that? Could there be a different explanation? It's machine learning, right? So you're not programming it to spit out answers. What's another reason that every time you see if Donald Trump is lying with AI is like, yeah, he's lying? What possible explanation could there be for that? I don't know. I don't know what we could come up with. Maybe we could come up with something. There's got to be something. Here's Kellyanne complaining.
There are 6 figures worth of
You're
legal
saying that
bills
Putin
for low-level
didn't,
staffers.
that the intel, that our intel community and the rest of the world.
Donald Trump was ever president, including now when he's sending patriots to Ukraine and calling Putin
I think that Putin really loved it when he stood up there next to him in Helsinki and said, oh, he told me he didn't want to interfere in the election.
I don't really care who Putin wanted to win the election.
You just brought it up. You obviously do care.
No. It went on, excuse me.
Now she's like, I don't even care about this whole topic. I just want to make this about me some more, please. I don't want to talk about this topic that we just brought up.
The media needs to own up to being part of this lie for years. 2,000 minutes. That is 2 days out of a human being's life, just in coverage of this thing called Russian
collusion. Why are there 13 Russian
true.
nationals that were charged with interfering with the election?
That's not that much. Honestly, like, I don't feel like that's that much time. 2 days out of 4 years, 2 days of coverage. I don't think that's that bad, especially when literally everybody who has reviewed this information has concluded that Russia absolutely interfered in our elections, and they worked with members of Trump's team to do it. I don't know. That seems like not enough coverage, honestly. I think maybe we haven't covered this enough. Jessica said, because you have a good heart, thank you. Denise said, here's to keeping it rough. Happy Friday. Thank you, Denise. And Amy says, there are dozens of us. Dozens.
If it wasn't true.
And that wasn't true. That wasn't what the report
Look at the Mueller report. Look at it.
The
Look
Mueller
what he
report
said about
was a joke.
interference. No, it wasn't.
There was interference, Jessica. There was interference.
That's what we're talking about.
No.
And that's what Obama.
See how they just said the Mueller report was a joke? It wasn't. Nobody's ever gone through the Mueller report and debunked any of it. You can go look at the Horowitz. You can go look at the Senate. The Senate's independent investigation. Everybody concluded exactly what the Mueller report concluded. Nobody has debunked that. I think what we've discovered is that some people in life, like maybe their life is just too easy. Like maybe Kellyanne Conway's life is just too easy. Everything's spoon-fed to her. She doesn't feel like she has to learn new things. She doesn't feel like she has to research things or read things, because there's legitimately nobody that has been able to debunk the conclusions of the Mueller investigation. People were mostly pleading guilty. Like Trump's campaign, the head of his campaign director, pled guilty. His national security advisor pled guilty. Papadopoulos, I think, did not plead guilty, wound up going to jail. All of these people have admitted what they did. We indicted 12 Russian GRU agents. There's not a report out there that has been able to take the Mueller investigation and say that it's nonsense. Everybody has confirmed it. It's just that if you're lazy, and for those of you in here right now that may say that it is, like that the Mueller investigation is nonsense, I'm going to guess that you don't know either. I think you're also lazy. And if you're being honest with yourself right now, why do you think the Mueller investigation was bullshit? Is it because you read it? No. Is it because you watched the hearings? No. It's because you've heard it from a lot of different people, and you don't think those people would lie to you. But this is how cults work. This is how you get brainwashed. You have top-down messaging, and they talk in catchphrases, and they repeat the same shit over and over and over. And now it builds consensus. And so when all the people around you have this consensus view, it makes it far more difficult to challenge. And you don't really have any reason to challenge it. Why shake the tree? Why you're all in agreement. It feels good to be in agreement with people. It feels good to be part of a movement. It feels good knowing that other people are upset about the same things you're upset about. Other people celebrate the same things you celebrate. So you are incentivized to stay within groupthink. And that's what we're seeing here. These people are supposed to be journalists. This is supposed to be actual news. Like I just saw Brendan Carr complaining about Stephen Colbert's news coverage. He's a fucking comedian. This is Fox goddamn News. It says it in the name. That's the name of this place, Fox News. And they can't be fucking bothered to read any of this. They just show up every day and tell obvious lies. You say whatever you want about CNN and MSNBC. I dare you to find me a segment like this where the host makes a claim where half of it is just blatantly a lie. When he said that the other two parts were in the ICA report, that's just a blatant lie. They're not in there. I dare you, just go find a clip. You can bring it. I'll show it. You can drop it in the. You can tell me what to search for in the chat. I'll find it. But I don't think you'll find this on any other news organization because this is all propaganda. This is just Donald Trump's news organization now.
There was interference, but you guys said for 2 years that there was collusion, there was blackmail,
and that
Trump
affected the
preferred
election.
and tried to
I
help
think
Trump.
that people who said there was collusion, which is a made-up term
I'm
anyway,
not going to be besmirched as the campaign manager. I wasn't talking to people.
You're having a conversation by yourself.
No. I wasn't talking to people in Moscow. I was talking to people in Macomb County, Michigan, and Mecklenburg County, in North Carolina. That's how he won. He won because Hillary was a flawed candidate, and every time you guys have a shitty candidate.
Now here's the thing that they love to do. They're going to say why he won. Nobody's talking about why he won. Whether that's why he won or not is up for debate, but it still happened. Russia still meddled in the election. Everything Kellyanne Conway here, she's in like full-on campaign mode. It doesn't fucking matter. But she doesn't know anything. I think we need to start being real honest about this. She doesn't fucking know what's happening on this stage. She's just here repeating shit we've heard for 5 years. She still hasn't bothered to go read this stuff. This all happened. It's very real. You can argue the impact it had. That's fair. Did it cause Trump to win the election? I don't know. You don't know either. Did it have an impact? Probably. Can we determine that impact? It's impossible. There's no amount of data collection that would allow us to determine the impact that Russia meddling in our elections had. It could have very little or it could have a lot, and I would be comfortable saying anything in between there is possible. We'll never know, but like it doesn't matter. The point is, did Russia interfere? Yes. Did members of Trump's team welcome it? Yes. Did his son welcome it? Yes. Did Trump welcome it? Yes, they all did. Trump openly said it on stage. He said, Russia, if you're listening, get me those emails. We all know that this happened. I don't know why Republicans pretend that this didn't happen. You saw it happen in real time. What you should be arguing is whether or not it had an impact. That's a good argument. You're going to win that argument, by the way. If you say, oh, yeah, well, this did happen, but it didn't cost Trump or it didn't cost Hillary the election, you've got a pretty good argument because there's not going to be any real data to refute it, right? So nobody's really going to be able to prove that you're wrong there. But stop lying about the obvious shit. Can we get to the actual subject? But don't lie that Russia didn't interfere because they absolutely fucking did. And everybody agrees with it. Literally everybody. Even in the report, the ICA report that Tulsi Gabbard declassified, even the very first thing it says is that like basically everything is accurate in this report and they did a great job. That's the first conclusion. That there's really nothing in here that's inaccurate. We just have a problem with this particular sentence where we think it could be interpreted differently, and you guys thought it couldn't be interpreted differently, or you didn't offer any other interpretations that were available. That's it. That's the crux of what they released. But Kellyanne, she just wants to play politics.
Jessica Tarlov.
Oh shit! That was the end of that. I didn't write. Who's gonna tell dipshit Tagravator that we read the report live yesterday? There's a replay of it, bud. You can even see. I can even pull it up. You can even see it's highlighted. Here's yesterday's outline. And where's my highlighted part? Here. I even learned how to use an Acrobat Reader. Let me get rid of this part. There it is. See all these marks in here? I did that. See all this highlighting? I did that. And then we read it yesterday. We read it. You're the people you watch don't read it. Because they're just showing up every day to tell you how much women suck and how everything's unfair. But over here we do real journalism. We talk about real things over here. All right, here's Andy Biggs. This is my congressman. He's a dipshit. We cover that regularly. Anytime I have an opportunity to shit on Andy Biggs, I'm going to do it. What we have here is Andy Biggs is in a hearing where he's going to give a lot of misinformation, and he's going to be blown away that everybody else in this hearing doesn't just believe him, that they've also seen the same information, and he can't believe that other people aren't buying obviously fake information. Here's Andy Biggs from Arizona, running for governor, by the way, and probably won't even get through the Republican primaries because when you put a microphone in front of Andy Biggs, you find out, oh, this guy's dumb.
Lady yields. Mr. Biggs, the gentleman from Arizona, is recognized for question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so much of what I just heard is untrue. But what I would say, too, is, when you cast aspersions about the Inspector General Kufari, I wonder, did you read the report that he submitted for this? Did you read the report that we're discussing today?
I did.
No, I know you did. I wonder about the people who are telling lies about you, whether they did. And then they say, we can't believe a thing you said.
Yeah.
Well, everything you said undermines what I think everybody on this committee should be worried about, and that is this horrible scourge of trying to find these kids who brought in and let in. I get it, just absolutely mind blown by people making these assertions. But have you been down to the border? I've been down to the border many times.
So stupid. You got all right. Here's what they're talking about. The claims that he's going to get to is the widely miscited number of the 300,000 missing children. And what Republicans will have you believe is that 300,000 children came across the border and we just fucking lost them. They're just gone and we can't find them anymore. That's not true. And Andy Biggs, I don't know if he knows this or not, but he's already going to. Have you been to the border? You don't believe this man, largely because his statistics are bullshit. And then Andy's going to go, I've been to the border. First of all, he doesn't represent a border district. I can tell you right now, I'm in his district. We're nowhere near the border. We are 3.5 hours away from the border. So I don't know why he's down there so often outside of photo ops, but he wants you to know that these numbers must be correct because he's been to the border.
I know you have, Mr. Kufari.
I have as well.
And have you brought people to the border? Have you interviewed people that are in detention? Have you interviewed children who come across without parents? This government, under Joe Biden, received hundreds of thousands of unaccompanied children. Is that fair to say, Mr. Kufari?
So the number is around 448,000.
And of those, do we know where all those 448,000 unaccompanied children are?
As of the date of the report, we did not. Like I mentioned, ICE and HHS are now going out in tandem to go and identify where these children are located.
Are you familiar with the case in Orlando, Florida, where 22 children at one time or another were placed with a strip club?
That's a new one.
Yeah. Well, that happened.
It didn't. Okay. So here's now what Andy Biggs is going to do. The number that they're citing there of 400,000 are border encounters. These are people who just at the time are not with their parents. That doesn't mean that their parents are nowhere near. This also includes any minors encountered within 100 miles of the border inside of the United States. And many of these people, it could be the same person multiple times, right? This doesn't mean that 500,000 unaccompanied minors came to the border. The Border Patrol said, come on in, and then just let them go, and we don't know where they are. That's not what this number represents. This number represents the total number of people under the age of 18 who had an encounter at the border who did not have a guardian with them. Some of these people, you can have a border encounter with a minor, and those people could very well be doing a job. They very well could be visiting. It could be a myriad of things, but none of that number tells you how many came here looking to immigrate and were released, and we can't find them now. That's why people are questioning the Trump administration official here. I forget his name, because they're saying, like, dude, you're using this number as if 500,000 children, I think he said 490, are missing. You're using this number incorrectly. This is just the total number of people under the age of 18 that had encounters with Border Patrol. That's a lot, admittedly, that's a lot. But that's what this number represents. So then to say we don't know where these people are, that doesn't mean you've lost 500,000 people. Many times you were never going to keep track of that person. That's why it's confusing. That's why everybody's ripping him. And Andy's like, have you not read the report? It seems like Andy's the one that didn't read the report. It seems like the only people confused with how data works are these dipshit Republicans who can't figure out how anything works. Andy's been in Congress for like over a decade. And he served in the Arizona legislature before that. He should know how to read a report. He should understand what a border encounter is. And he apparently doesn't.
It happened, and you know what? That's not the only time that type of thing happened. Multiple children going to the same address, which turned out to be vacant addresses. Is that right?
That's correct. There was one instance where our audit team, and I have some of those senior members here with me today, went physically out to look at addresses. There was one address where 35 unaccompanied alien children were designated to be, and it was a non-existing address.
Now, this is important, right? This is something we should look at. But this isn't, we look at it in totality here of these claims. That's my problem with Andy Biggs. This is a fucking issue. There's 35 kids that went to the same house. Does that mean that all 500,000 unaccompanied minors who had border interactions are missing? No. So let's talk about this thing. Why did 35 kids all use the same address? Come up, just figure it out. That's law enforcement's job. Maybe there's a good excuse for it. Maybe it was an apartment building. Maybe they didn't know the apartment number. Maybe it's part of a trafficking ring, and they all use the same address because they knew that there was no enforcement. This is something you look at. This is something that's important, but this is something that every administration does look at. This is what these trafficking organizations inside the FBI are looking at. This is the type of data that's important to them. These are the types of leads they follow up on. But it still doesn't mean that there's 500,000 missing kids.
Were there records kept about the vetting of the sponsors that were being placed, where these children were being placed under the Biden administration?
The change in the MOU between HHS and DHS in the summer of 21 removed the requirement for the adult sponsor, not for all the individuals in the home.
And are you referring to the Mallorca?
Yeah, so the sponsor, the person who comes and sponsors them is the person responsible to follow up, not everybody in the home. Do you hear what we're saying there? Like, you want to run it. You want to have HHS run background checks on everybody who lives in the home. Like, we're already overwhelmed. Could we do that if we had more resources? Sure. But again, these aren't real. Like, everything about the Republicans, it's all a fugazi. They're all just trying to get you hysterical about nothing. And every time I try and figure out what the fuck they're upset about, I can't figure it out. Because they're either lying or they're just saying numbers that mean nothing. Or they're just telling you a story that means nothing. This is one of those instances. What are they even telling you right now? What is Andy Biggs upset about? Why was he so passionate at the beginning? What's he upset about? I can't figure it out. Can you? Do you think any of you Republicans in here could tell me what the fuck Andy Biggs is so impassioned about? This happens with QAnon, and I think that we're in danger of this happening like with the Epstein stuff. Sometimes what happens is you get locked into this news cycle, and it's like one thing after another. And eventually you get to a point where there's so much shit that you don't process any of it. Every bit of information comes in and you're like, does that confirm or deny what I believe? Confirmed, keep it. Deny, I don't have time for this. Throw it on the shelf. And that's the stage that we're in with Republicans right now. They have been flooded with so many fucking lies, and they've had to defend lie after lie after lie from Donald Trump over and over and over again. He's such a corrupt scumbag human that almost every day you have something that you have to defend because he's that dumb and that dishonest. And so now it gets to a point where there's so much information, it's overload. You can't possibly deal with it. And so you just say, yeah, this checks, or whatever information comes in, you already have a narrative and you just adjust that information to your narrative. That's what we have here. This is incoherent. This is my congressman. This is who we pay to represent us in my district. If I showed this to anybody in his district, they'd be like, I have no clue what he's upset about. I don't know what he's talking about. I can't figure it out.
This 2021 memo that deprioritized unaccompanied children cases, labeling them non-criminal?
I think that he issued that memorandum in the fall of 21. This is a change in an MOU that happened in the summer of 21 that predated that.
Okay. So, Mr. Perry brought up offenses against children, and it doesn't take much to go to 18 U.S.C. Section 2251, and then also the aid and abet statutes, to realize that the policies, when you are labeling what's happening, the unaccompanied children, as non-criminal, if you've ever stood there and watched a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old come over in a group put together by a coyote with a 10-year-old not related to those 2 younger kids, bringing them across, you'd have to say there's some criminal conduct there. There is.
Yeah, no shit. That would be criminal. No shit. I don't get it. Does he think that what happened at the border is that you had Border Patrol just said, like, fuck it? They started seeing like one coyote coming over with a bunch of underage kids, and they're like, yeah, get out of here. I don't know what he's talking about. This didn't happen. This isn't a thing that happens. They don't just bring somebody over with a bunch of unaccompanied minors and go, yep, come on through. If you're going to let an unaccompanied minor in, they need a reason. I don't know. Have you ever been to the border? Any of you? If you have, you know, you can't just like go in and out. If a 3-year-old shows up at the border as an unaccompanied minor, you think they're just gonna be like, go on in. Oh, fuck, we lost him. These things that he's talking about, this doesn't happen. It's hysteria now at this point. Andy Biggs has lost his fucking mind. And it's just information overload. He has no idea how to process it. He has no idea to take it and build a narrative. He has no idea what is important and what isn't important in these numbers. This is gibberish. Nobody could watch this video and at the end give me a summary of what the fuck he's talking about. Well, yeah, just a brief summary. Here's what you have no idea. Nobody knows what he's saying.
Absolutely abusive children going on there. That's what was going on wildly, often under the previous administration. And I'm sorry that you had to endure the BS that you've had to today. Your report is right, and I hope my colleagues read that report and tell me where any of it's untrue. And I will yield the balance, but I do have some
nobody actually said. I watched this hearing. Nobody said that it was untrue. What they were going after his interpretation of some of this data, which is entirely fair. Namely, that saying 500,000 border encounters means that there's 500,000 missing children. They do this to keep you angry. They do this to keep you upset. And Republicans, like, just see through it. Stop letting them control your emotions. Stop letting them control your narrative. That guy said nothing, and you all know it. Just a reminder, guys, we are crowdfunded, and I'm not doing a great job. I'll get in trouble by Jen later, but we do rely on you to pay our bills. So anything you could do to help knock out that gift goal would be greatly appreciated. FOD says HVAC didn't confirm Russia collusion. Important. He didn't? Why didn't he confirm it? God bless. Somebody talk to HVAC. I need him to confirm it. That's our source. All right. Let me see. Did Jen say anything? You're good, Jen. Don't worry about it. All right. On to the next part. Okay. Trump had a little walk today to the helicopter, and while he was waiting for the helicopter, he answered some questions. But before that, I just want to show you this. Trump now is talking about the value of the dollar plummeting, which we're seeing. And this is Donald Trump on July 18th of 2025, just a mere 7 days ago.
No, we're not going to let the dollar slide. If we have a smart president, you're never going to let the dollar slide. If you have a dummy, that could happen. Like the last one, he would, if you ever asked him about the dollar sliding, he would have no idea. But we can't let that ever happen again.
Yeah, only a dummy would advocate to let the dollar slide. And by dollar slide, he means the dollar plummeting in value. Here he is just 7 days later, apparently now a full-blown dummy.
The dollar falling so much, and are you concerned about that?
Well, you know, I'm a person that likes a strong dollar, but a weak dollar makes you a hell of a lot more money. When we have a strong dollar, one thing happens, it sounds good. But you don't do any tourism, you can't sell tractors, you can't sell trucks, you can't sell anything. It is good for inflation, that's about it. It doesn't sound good, but you make a hell of a lot more money with a weaker dollar. Not a weak dollar, but a weaker dollar than you do with a strong dollar.
So between July 18th and July 25th, Scott Bessent had to pull Donald Trump aside and be like, hey, you dumb bitch, we're trying to weaken the dollar. That's our plan. What are you doing? We're trying to devalue the dollar right now. The reason that you would want to, like, if you look at this agenda, the only way for Trump's agenda to actually work, and I'm going to credit again, because he got me thinking about this, Hoodie. I don't know if Hoodie's here. Hoodie, if you're here, shout out, dude. Like, you got me thinking about this, how this works in with the agenda. In order for American manufacturing to be competitive, American manufacturing prices have to be competitive. And in order for American manufacturing prices to be competitive, our dollar has to be worth a little bit less. Otherwise, like, labor costs are too much. Our dollar can't be the most valuable currency. We've got to bring it down. So this type of move makes actual sense for what they're trying to do. Now, if you expand that, and this is why this policy doesn't make sense, and it kind of feels like it feels like they're using like duct tape to keep our economy together. When you devalue the dollar, you devalue purchasing power, and you make people's available liquidity smaller. So the average American, as the dollar devalues but prices rise, they can buy less, right? So it's a very, I understand what the line that they're trying to tiptoe here. And the reason that they're trying to tiptoe this line is because they're completely owned by rich people. And you have a bunch of self-interested billionaires who are saying, hey, don't, like, I understand there's going to be some problems here. We're going to feel some pain. You remember Elon saying we're going to feel some pain. You remember Trump saying we're going to feel some pain. They didn't mean we like you, me, Elon, and Trump. They meant we like you. Us. We're the ones, not them. They're not going to, it's not going to hurt them in the fucking slightest. It's not, they're fine. But we're all going to feel it. Because in order to bring back American manufacturing, which is stupid, by the way, it is absolutely blind the way that they are going about this. We're talking about increasing American manufacturing, which means what? It means we have to increase energy production to keep up with manufacturing. And on top of that, we're talking about AI. We want to do be a leader in AI, and we also want to be a leader in like crypto mining. All three things take an extraordinary amount of energy. And our solution to that is to drill more oil and natural gas, which means by definition, it is going to be more expensive. So we're devaluing the dollar. And at the same time, we are saying to these oil and gas companies, drill, baby, drill, which they're already doing at record rates. They were doing it before at record rates. And the price, we're not seeing the price of energy come down. It's going up. And that's because the demand, like, just, this is simple, like, supply and demand shit. And this is why I don't think that this administration has any coherent through line. And you could make really good arguments that this is just oligarchs trying to crash the entire economy. Because this makes sense to me. We could at the very time we're massively increasing our dependency on energy, we're also stripping away subsidies for renewable energy that doesn't cost money to reproduce. How are we going to increase our demand? Supply can't keep up with it. And we reduce the amount of renewable energy that we're investing in. What's going to happen to the price of energy? It's just going to go up. This doesn't make sense, guys. Explain it. Find an economist that can explain it. I haven't heard yet a coherent way to explain this. How are we devaluing the dollar to bring back manufacturing jobs, which is going to substantially increase energy costs? What are we going to do? Nationalize oil? That's kind of our option. That's what we're running into right now. We can't drill, baby, drill enough to get out of this to cover our energy needs for what they're trying to do. If you're a Republican that's here, you're welcome to come up and explain it to me. You just message Jen on Discord, JENNDUBB1, and come explain it to me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'd love to hear at least a decent explanation for why we would devalue the dollar and also cut out renewable energy while increasing only, it appears, sectors that are very energy dependent. Doesn't make sense. Sully says, why is reverse cowgirl illegal in Alabama? Because you never turn your back on your family. That is not nice. See, and this is the problem we have. I think, Roman, you're great. Thanks for being here, Roman. I'm glad to have you. Climate change is the biggest scam ever attempted in human history. I didn't say climate change, dipshit. I said renewable energy. Energy that it costs $0 to reproduce. Take the climate change part out of it. Energy from the sun. The sun it's up there. It gives us energy, and we're like, nah, no thanks, sun. We'd rather pay for this energy. This is why we have a problem. Like, who do you think has been waging that war on renewable energy? Fossil fuels. And they have convinced you that when we talk about renewable energy, which is just cheap energy, your knee-jerk reaction was to talk about climate change. That's how programmed you are right now. I'm talking about finances. I'm talking about economics. I'm talking about the cheapest way to get energy, and you're like, I don't like solar panels because I don't think that the climate is changing. Okay. You don't think the climate's changing then. Just do the thing that's cheaper. Do the renewable energy thing that we can renew. That's why it's called renewable energy. You don't have to care about the climate. You can beat off to fracking all you want. You can look at pictures of oil spills and put them up on your walls, paper your whole wall with it. But still, you should have solar because it's renewable and it'll save you money. There's this moral opposition to renewable energy is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. Renewable energy will not work until we have a storage solution. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, infrastructure, batteries, storage solutions. China's figuring it out. They're about 10 years ahead of us. They're figuring that out, aren't they? Or we could just keep buying oil and natural gas and pay out the ass for that. This was alarming. Trigger warning. Here's what Trump's saying about Gaza this morning.
Yeah, Gaza, they pulled out of Gaza. They pulled out in terms of negotiating. It was too bad. Hamas didn't really want to make a deal. I think they want to die, and it's very, very bad. Are you done? And it got to be to a point where you're going to have to finish the job. They really, they asked for things. Don't forget, we got a lot of hostages out. So now we're down to the final hostages, and they know what happens after you get the final hostages. And basically, because of that, they really didn't want to make a deal. I saw that. So they pulled out, and they're going to have to fight, and they're going to have to clean it up. You're going to have to get rid of it.
So it's the president just saying we're going to finish the job in Gaza. Fuck the genocide that isn't happening, that's clearly happening. The forced starvation of Gazans. Just going to victim blame them all the way through a genocide. Yeah, he just said it. He's just blatantly saying it. By the way, one of the things that I don't know why I missed this. Part of the I think it was HR 23. The Republicans today are out talking about how they have codified like 50 plus executive orders from this administration. One of those executive orders that they have now codified basically says that if the ICC has tries to prosecute either us or Israel, we get to tell them to fuck off. We don't care about the ICC. So while the ICC has determined that Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, and he obviously is, and he's obviously committing a genocide against the Palestinian people, our Republican Congress wrote into law, codified into law, that we will protect not only ourselves from any incrimination by the ICC or any investigation to the ICC, but also Benjamin Netanyahu. Imagine this is World War II, and in the middle of in the middle of the Holocaust, the United States signs into law that the international courts cannot hold us nor Hitler responsible for what they did. Imagine that. In this, if you reverse engineer this, go back to the 40s. This is us saying, I don't know about those Nuremberg trials. It seems biased to me. Yeah, they're going to be biased against Netanyahu. They're going to be probably biased against us because we sat by and we watched a genocide happen. And Netanyahu committed a genocide. It's pretty crazy to just look at history and look at a bunch of cross-wearing white Christian Americans who think they're God's gift to this world just openly support and cheerlead a genocide. This is a genocide that will be remembered forever. It will be gone. Gaza will be gone. It's what once existed is now gone. Over 100,000 people dead. An entire area carpet bombed. I remember early on in this let's just call it a genocide. Early on, I remember people coming up all the time on TikTok Live. They're not carpet bombing. They're not carpet bombing. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they did. They continue to. And this is our president now just saying, yeah, just fucking level it. Just go for it. And we know. He told us before. He told us when he was campaigning that he was going to get a piece of this. Financially, he's going to get a piece of this. He said, not the United States. I'm going to get a piece of this. I'm going to get it. His friends, his investor friends, they're going to go in and they're going to develop it. Donald Trump is on your watch. You elected this man to help facilitate a genocide for a business deal for his buddies. Cool. We'll see if we get to it today. Charlie Kirk did it. Whoops, I hit the, hold on. Charlie Kirk held I guess, I don't know, an open panel. And he discussed it with a bunch of all young, Gen Z Republicans, their thoughts on Israel. Focus group is the word I'm looking for. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But this is not popular even among like Gen Z Republicans. This is just old. We don't give a fuck. We've bought into the cult. Generic, lazy thinking Republicans. That's who is still supporting this at this point. You watch that. Donald Trump literally just said, "We're going to clear Gaza. We're going to finish off the genocide, and then we'll rebuild it." And you guys are like, "Yeah, this is the best president the United States has ever had. He's accomplished more in this administration than any administration in 6 months ever," which is fucking stupid. FOD said the thing about Trump is that he has no scruples. Yeah. You guys are once again though, Republicans. You don't have to hide in the chat. You can come up and explain to me why I'm wrong. I just feel pretty sick about our president saying that this morning. But you guys can keep cheerleading it, I guess, if you want. If that's who you are. Later on in this interview, Trump is then asked about his personal attorney, Todd Blanche, who has met with Ghislaine Maxwell yesterday. Just crazy. We can't see the records, or we can't see the Epstein files. We won't get to hear from Ghislaine Maxwell testifying in front of Congress until probably September or October. And Trump's personal attorney is doing prep work. Before she testifies before Congress, who has oversight, Trump's personal attorney is going and meeting with her completely off the record. We will have no record of this. And you guys, are we good with this? This guy's accused of being in the Epstein files with one of the most notorious sexual predators in world history. And his personal attorney is meeting with the person who will testify before Congress before she testifies before Congress. And he's the only person on earth that could get her out of prison. The only person. He can get her out of prison tomorrow. This isn't fucked up, right? This isn't. This is totally normal. Okay. Here's what Trump said about the potential of pardoning Maxwell this morning.
Well, I don't know about the meeting. I know it's taking place, and he's a fantastic man. He's a great attorney, and people should really focus on how well the country's doing, or they should focus on the fact that Barack Hussein Obama led a coup.
He's a great attorney. Stop talking about this. Don't talk about it. Does this sound familiar to anybody?
Or they should focus on the fact that Larry Summers from Harvard, that Bill Clinton, who you know very well, and lots of other friends, really close friends of Jeffrey Summers, should be spoken about. Because, you know, Jeffrey Epstein should be spoken about. And they should speak about them because they don't talk about them.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Courtney, nobody said renewable energy is free. I said the renewal of the energy, the reproduction of the energy is free. So, for example, I have solar panels on my house that cost money to manufacture. It costs money to install, and I had to pay for those solar panels. But what I don't pay for is the energy every day. That's what we're saying. Nobody said renewable energy is free. But I don't pay for that energy now. It's renewable. It's a one-time investment, and now that energy renews every day. So when gas prices go up, it doesn't fucking affect me. Not for my energy prices, at least. When the supply goes up for energy, there's still a sun. And so I still have that energy locked in at the price of whatever I paid to produce that energy. But the reproduction of energy, every time my solar panels produce energy, that process is free. So nobody is saying that it's free, Courtney. Let's be real clear on that. I want to go to Trump here yesterday, though. He told you. He said, whenever anybody asks you about my connection to Epstein, remember, here's what you need to do.
Obama cheated on the election, and we have it cold, hard, blue, and it's getting even more so because the stuff that's coming in is not even believable. So, and you should mention that every time they give you a question that's not appropriate, just say, oh, by the way, Obama cheated on the election. You'll watch the camera turn off instantly. But
well, it didn't do that, but he gave the exact instruction. And what do we have here? They ask him the question, what are you hoping Blanche gets out of the meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell? He's a great lawyer, and you shouldn't be talking about this. You should talk about Obama, how he staged a coup, which he didn't, but one guy did. Trump. Trump staged a fucking coup. God damn. I'm sorry, it's Friday. I'm so frustrated with you dumb motherfuckers. I'm so goddamn frustrated. The guy did a real fucking coup, and now he's trying to convince you that this fake coup that there will never be prosecution for because, one, it didn't happen. The entire document rests on a single sentence that we interpret slightly differently, and he wants you to care about that. He did an actual coup, and you're just like, yeah, this is totally unfair. You guys have to be better than this. You can't be this goddamn dumb every single day and then sit in the comments and be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I do. I do, because I'm not an idiot. And anybody who's not an idiot knows, could you just come up and talk about it? Can we just talk through this together, friend to friend? Can we just have a fucking discussion? I just want you guys to, I just want you to see the difference in what we're talking about here. I don't want you to be played anymore. I want you to support other Republicans, ones that aren't dipshits. You don't even have to come to our side of the aisle. But we've got to get back at some point in this country to discussing reality, some shit that's really happening. We can't continue down this road of just believing completely made up fantasies to defend one fucking guy. Your life's not getting better. The country is dividing further. We're going more into debt. We're losing all of our allies. And the only reason you're holding on is because you love Trump. It's one guy. One guy is fucking up all of this. Stop supporting him, please. Please. We can get rid of him. You can have J.D. Vance. I'm terrified of J.D. Vance, but for the love of God, can we get somebody out here that's not a complete fucking psychopath? Please. I said it, please. I said please. It's a nice way to do it. Here now is Trump with a terrible explanation. Now, he knows that this book is coming out. He knows that the book and the letter that he wrote for Epstein is real. It's very clear that it's real. There's no chance the Wall Street Journal is printing that without that being real. He's terrified of that. So now what's he going to do? He's going to poison the well, and he's going to tell you that if it is there, somebody else made it. It's just a fake.
Did not write a letter for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday. I don't even know what they're talking about. Now, somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot. All you have to do is take a look at the dossier, the fake dossier. Everything's fake with that administration. Everything's fake with the Democrats. Take a look at what
everything is fake.
About the dossier. Everything is fake. They're a bunch of sick people. Where did you see the people laying outside?
Right across the street from Lafayette Park, sir. Towards 15.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah. Everything's fake. It's all fake. It's very real. We can see it, but it's all fake. What do I think of Matt Taibbi's reporting? Does he have new reporting? Matt Taibbi do something new? I think that his reporting on the Twitter files was dishonest a little bit. Not dishonest in like his actual reporting, but dishonest on what he said he had access to. Obama now squarely in Russiagate crosshairs. What did he say? Let's see. Let's see what Taibbi said here. Come on, Fox. You don't have to run an ad on every video, do you? Let's see what they have to say. I don't know why you keep coming up. Try and get a life 2028. All right, Dan. I think I keep coming up because you keep coming here and commenting. That's probably what happened. All right, let's see what Matt Taibbi says. I forgot they do this weird thing.
Clapper, Comey, Brennan, etc. But also Barack Obama is mentioned in a lot of this. And you read at Racket News that a source had told you that Obama is now, quote, center square in the Russiagate scam. Go ahead and explain that. Then I've got questions for you after that.
Sure. So the last major revelation that came out was that John Brennan and James Comey were the focus of criminal investigations that have been opened by the Justice Department. But these new documents that were released by Tulsi Gabbard and the Director of National Intelligence make it clear that the investigation is now aimed at the Obama White House, and in particular at Barack Obama, because of decisions that were made in early December of 2016 to suppress the presidential daily briefing and go ahead and order a new intelligence community assessment that ultimately would have much more aggressive conclusions about Trump and Russia.
So a lot of this December of 2016.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with that. That Republicans now are focusing on Obama. So far, everything he said is true, but what he said is not that like Obama's guilty. He's just laying out that Republicans are focused on Obama now. I agree with that.
Into January of 2017, I'm assuming also. You know, but Trump's people were in there for 4 years. And the current CIA director had his job for 8 months at the time. Did his people fail him? Why wasn't there more urgency on this and Trump 1.0 as there is now?
Yeah, that's a complaint I heard a lot over the weekend from people who have been following this, and even from former officials who are close to Trump. One of them said to me, a former high-ranking Trump official said there was, quote, so much corruption in the last Trump presidency that this shouldn't have been overlooked, that these documents should have come out. Absolutely. But the overall sense I get is that everyone's happy that they finally are coming out, and they're looking forward to what is likely to come out this week.
Okay. Now,
yeah, I don't know, Drew. He's not saying it. He's just quoting Trump people. Yeah, Trump people think that this is big. They're going to go after Obama. Their excuse for why it didn't come out before is because the first Trump administration was so corrupt, but this one isn't. I don't know. I think Matt Taibbi's reporting correctly here. He's not drawing any conclusions. He's just telling you what Republicans are saying.
Another question about Russia. Is the allegation they were trying to influence our election, or is the allegation that they actually changed votes? I think we need to be clear on that. What can we say?
So it's both. The Democrats are making a lot of hay over this apples and oranges issue, that there was never any question that they didn't actually change vote tallies. But they did influence the election. Actually, there was some question about whether they had the ability to influence the election. There were quotes earlier from that year with the FBI saying they didn't have any evidence that they had done so, and they were uncomfortable making that statement. There were also quotes saying that they lacked evidence that Russia had the ability to impact.
Can I just show this? Like, this is how incoherent this is. I hate that Fox doesn't. Hold on. Is there a way to do this?
Of the quotes saying that
I hate that it does this. Like, I don't know why it won't let you. If you pause it, it does that. Thanks, Fox. Let me do this. I'm just going to go back and forth. Let's look at this timeline here. Before the 2016 election, U.S. Intel said Russia likely wasn't using cyber means. That December 7th, Clapper said no foreign cyber impact. December 9th, 2016, Obama team meets, drafts new hacked election claim. Trump wins election. Intel report. So this is selective too. When they're selectively editing this, and fuck Fox News for doing this. They are so in the tank for Donald Trump. It's crazy. But why is my bar not coming up? Let me go back and show you this again. Where are we on this? Where is that chart again? The quote here is that there were no cyber attacks on the infrastructure, and they're leaving that out of all of these quotes. They did say that they used cyber attacks. They obviously used a cyber attack to go into Hillary Clinton's or to get Clinton's emails, the DNC hack. That was obviously a cyber attack. What the quote was, which they're lying to you for some reason about on Fox News, is that there was no intelligence that said there would be a cyber attack on the infrastructure. So a little disingenuous here by Matt Taibbi, I think, at this point to not clear that up. He knows the answer to this.
To influence the election, there were quotes earlier from that year with the FBI saying they didn't have any evidence that they had done so, and they were uncomfortable making that statement. There were also quotes saying that they lacked evidence that Russia had the ability to impact the outcome of the election. So all of this would have been passed on to somebody like Michael Flynn, because presidents-elect are entitled to receive the presidential daily briefing. That's why this is important. It's not so much what the PDB did say, it's what it didn't say. It didn't say that there was a sweeping conspiracy to help Trump. And if they had that, it would have been a very different political picture going forward.
Okay, looks like.
Yeah, they did have that. I don't understand what they're talking about. It was classified, so not everybody had it. Trump could have declassified that at any time. There you go, Drew. I think Matt Taibbi is saying the same thing I'm saying. He's just reporting on what Republicans are saying, and I'm just reporting on what the document says. So I don't think it's that different. Rory said, "This is because I like you people." Thanks, Rory. Dragon Wizard said they realized, but Biden wasn't working, so they had to dig deeper. I'm waiting for, but Carter, Jimmy Carter's gonna get rolled up in this now. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I just don't think you guys are this dumb. I just honestly don't think you Republicans are this dumb. I think most of you see right through this. Some of you are still here holding on for dear life, and God bless you. You're doing great. Jumar said, "This is so fucking sick. Fuck Trump and fuck MAGA. You got to be fucking kidding me." I assume that is about them just saying finish the job in Palestine. Charles said, "Because Jen's guilt trip is working." Thank you, Charles. I appreciate you very much. And then I don't know if this joke came through. Alex said, "How did the Alabaman find his sister in the woods?" Real purdy. I think I get that joke. I hope I get that joke. And I get that one already. All right. Moving on. Where was I? Here we go. I wanted to show this. Trump was then asked about pardoning Maxwell, and I think that this is real. I'm fairly sure this is going to happen because Trump said, "I haven't thought about it," and then he justified that he could do it. And historically, anytime Trump has said, "I haven't thought about it, but I have the right to do it," he winds up doing it. So I think it's very clear Trump has thought about pardoning Ghislaine a lot of times, which is why his personal lawyer is meeting with her right now.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if she's
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something.
Recommended it.
It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
But you wouldn't rule it out, sir.
All right. The reason I wanted to show that is because we talked about it yesterday. Like Trump kicks stuff to Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is nothing more than a Republican spokesperson or a Trump spokesperson on Newsmax. And here was Greg Kelly yesterday. We showed it yesterday, but I'm going to show it again now. Trump is already feeding this now to Republicans in the news media and getting them to kind of like beta test these ideas.
The Deputy Attorney General, the #2 ranking official in the Justice Department, and he's about to meet with Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend in prison, Ghislaine Maxwell, to find out what she knows. Let's find out, what is this all about? And she's also been subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee. I think this is great. I do have a feeling that she just might be a victim. She just might be. There was a rush to judgment. There was a lot of chaos there for a while. All right, granted, she hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, and I know that's apparently not good, but she's in jail for how long now? 20 years, a 20-year sentence. Well, Alan Dershowitz is one of the greatest attorneys who ever lived, and he has this to say.
Every time I hear him say that, it makes me laugh. I laughed at it yesterday, too.
About the Ghislaine Maxwell situation, speaking with Newsmax veteran Eric Bolling.
Should Ghislaine Maxwell be behind bars?
She shouldn't be, but she is.
She trafficked girls. She sexually assaulted girls. Children. You got Alan Dershowitz and Newsmax now saying she shouldn't be behind bars. And the president of the United States is considering a pardon for her. That's how far we've come. This is how nothing you guys say makes sense. We care about the children. We care about trafficking. Okay. Well, Trump's lawyer, by the way, Dershowitz, who was also Epstein's lawyer and a constant apologist for Trump, and maybe another guy in the Epstein files, is saying she shouldn't be in jail. I don't know what you guys are reading. She helped traffic women to Epstein, and she herself participated in the abuse. This is not somebody that was just like unknowingly was there and like, I didn't know he was doing it. This isn't somebody that was coerced into it. There's no evidence of that. This person also abused children.
He is really serving Jeffrey Epstein's sentence after he committed suicide. There was no one else to prosecute because there was no real information against anybody else. And so they went after her and they sentenced her to a sentence that would have been appropriate for Epstein, but not at all appropriate for her. And so she's appealing now, and I hope the appeal will be granted. She deserves to be out.
She deserves to be out. And maybe she never deserved to be in there in the first place. Now, how could you say such a thing? I mean, these are perverts. These are child molesters.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, you got that part right. Yeah, bitch. Explain to us why she shouldn't be in prison. She is a child abuser. Just explain it to us real quick.
Heard that from whom? From the media?
Yeah.
From prosecutors?
Yeah.
Prosecutors prosecuted President Trump.
And he was guilty too.
I don't know, but I'm skeptical of everything and everybody these days, and you should be too.
Yeah. Your folks, these are your folks. That's directly coming from this administration. Hey, Greg Kelly, go out there and float the idea that Ghislaine Maxwell is a victim and not a perpetrator. That's where we're at now. Right-wing media, you guys are running cover for an actual P3DO? You're casting doubt. She's been convicted. They went to court. There was testimony. She's convicted of not only helping Epstein, but doing some of the abuse herself. And you're like, oh, Trump's so good that if her name's linked with Trump,
the deputy attorney.
She must be good. If Trump's thinking about pardoning her, then she must be good because Trump can do no wrong. It's probably a good reminder at this point, too, to remind you that the very first person who testified in Ghislaine Maxwell's court case said that Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump when she was 14 years old. Now, you guys are going to go, no, that's not true. She also says that she was on a flight with Prince Andrew, and you'll go, yeah, that's true. he's bad, Trump not bad. She didn't accuse Trump or the Duke of York of any misconduct. The accuser who used the pseudonym Jane in court, and this as she was undergoing cross-examination from one of Maxwell's attorneys. Mr. Epstein introduced you to Donald Trump, correct? The defense lawyer asked. He took you to Mar-a-Lago when you were 14, you claim. Yes, she said. He took you in a dark green car and you met Donald Trump there, correct? Correct. You remember Prince Andrew being on a flight with you? Yes. Jane had alleged on Tuesday that Maxwell drew her into Epstein's predatory orbit when she was 14 years old. At times, Jane alleged, Maxwell was present when Epstein sexually abused her and claimed that she sometimes participated in the encounters. Your president, Donald Jumbass Trump, is floating a pardon for a woman who sexually assaulted children with Jeffrey Epstein, and she accompanied Jeffrey Epstein to Mar-a-Lago where she met Donald Trump. Now, just explain to me, your friend shows up. He's in his 50s, 40s. I don't know how old Epstein was at the time, but let's say I think about maybe 40s or 50s. Your friend shows up, who you've known for 15 years, terrific guy, likes younger women on the younger side. Shows up with a 14-year-old girl. You know he doesn't have children. You know Maxwell doesn't have children. Now, Donald Trump in this scenario isn't participating, but what the fuck? Your friend, your 40-year-old friend shows up from another state and he's got a 14-year-old girl just unaccounted for, and you're like, yeah, that's fine. Even if Trump didn't participate here, you can go read other accounts where Trump did participate. 27 victims now at this point, I think, including one that was 14, who gives a very detailed and graphic account of how this went down. But at the very least, Trump's allowing Jeffrey Epstein to hang out at Mar-a-Lago with a 14-year-old girl that nobody knows. And then that 14-year-old girl is assaulted by Ghislaine Maxwell, and Trump, who wished Ghislaine Maxwell the day before this trial happened. Remember, before like a day before this, Trump was like, I wish her well, you know? I wish everybody well. She's a friend of mine. I knew her for years. I just honestly wish her well. The very first witness incriminates Donald Trump, and now Donald Trump's talking about floating a pardon for this woman. Are you out of your fucking minds? If this wasn't Donald Trump, every last one of you would be like, oh, guilty. Yeah, this guy's in on it. The only reason you don't believe this is because you have sold out to Donald Trump. You've sold your fucking souls to this guy. In what today, just today alone, Donald Trump has floated the idea of pardoning a serial sex abuser and said, we better finish off this genocide in Gaza. In one day. And you're still on board with this shit? Drew, I saw you in here. I know you're not still on board with this, Drew. I know you're not still be like, God, this guy's got it together. He's talking about pardoning sex criminals and finishing off a genocide. What a fucking day to be in America today, huh? What a fucking day to be MAGA today, huh? What is your president doing today? Says your friend in another country. You won't believe this. He says we need to hurry up with that genocide and that we're going to start pardoning sex criminals. Oh, what'd your president do today? I'm not going to talk. I just passed a regular ass law. That's where we're at. That's the point of the cult that we're at. That's the point of like lunacy that we're at right now. There are people in this chat still supporting this guy, and today he's talking about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell and finishing off a genocide.
Thanks for the sub.
That's what you guys have to be proud of today. And then you come on here, Democrats are evil. Really, the Democrats are the problem. Oh, okay. We're demanding that you release this information. We're demanding that she come before Congress and testify. And you're like, we might want to run some interference here. Trump sends his attorney down there real quick for a meeting that we'll never know about. We just don't get to. And Maxwell, we know her attorney has said she will cooperate to get a lighter sentence. But we don't have any transparency into what she's cooperating about. So she comes out tomorrow and she's like, oh, yeah, here's all the people that did it and Donald Trump didn't. You'll just believe it. We'll just move on. I don't get it, man. I don't get you guys. What is so great about this guy? What is so wonderful about Donald Trump that he justifies you absolutely selling your fucking souls to the point now that you're defending genocide and sex criminals? What the fuck are you doing? I'm so sick of pretending that you guys have anything even close to a soul. It got real fucking quiet in YouTube, didn't it? Yeah, those Republicans got real quiet, didn't they? All of a sudden, they're not commenting so much, are they? Not a peep from the Republicans, except for the ones that are like, I don't believe anything bad about anything Donald Trump says. Even when it comes out of his own mouth, I don't like it. I don't believe it. Here's kind of how things went down in Congress. We mentioned there was a procedural vote in I don't remember which committee it was in, but they basically are now going to be able to subpoena the Epstein files. And Mark Lee, J. Lee Hull Osment McMullins here, he's been the guy running interference for Trump. And we've been saying that he's running cover for Trump. We've all been accusing every one of you of running cover for Trump. And this is going to be the real test of MAGA. Because it's like an 8-minute video. I'm going to show it back and forth from my senator, Ruben Gallego, who's, goddamn, neither one of these guys is a very good reader. The way they stumble through their statements is a little bit tough to watch. So I'm just going to warn you, it's a little boring because they're reading prepared remarks. This isn't like an open dialogue. But he's going to admit it. The Republican in charge of arguing against releasing the Epstein files is going to admit that they are running cover for Donald Trump and buying him time to come up with a narrative, and most of you won't care. Let's watch it.
Resolution is simply saying is we agree with the president. We agree with AG Bondi.
Oh, one more thing that I need to add. So what they're debating here is Gallego has put forward a bill that says we want to release the Epstein files. So all the files that the federal government and Donald Trump have control over, all the stuff that Donald Trump would need to sign off on, they are compelling that. They're trying to say we're going to get those documents. We're not going to wait for Trump to declassify or release them. And what the Republicans did in response to that is say, let's not worry about the files. Let's force the courts to release grand jury testimony. Now, that grand jury testimony is not going to be that damning because it's Epstein grand jury testimony. And we know that he repeatedly pleads the fifth in that grand jury testimony. The grand jury testimony is going to be simply stuff that Epstein was willing to admit in those interviews. And when he's not, you can go watch it. They asked him specifically, by the way, if he's ever been around Trump with underage girls. And he says, I want to answer that, but my attorneys have told me to plead the fifth. And now we know that the opening testimony from Ghislaine Maxwell's trial is a 14-year-old girl saying, I accompanied Jeffrey Epstein and met Donald Trump. So now we have evidence that says that did happen, and you have Epstein saying, I'm pleading the fifth, which is a pretty good indication that that's true, that story really did happen. But the Republicans' response here, that Mark J. Lee Hull Osment, Lee Harvey Oswald McMullen here is presenting is, we don't want to release the files. We only want to release the grand jury testimony. And so now he's telling Gallego, I want you to drop your motion and just accept my motion out of transparency. And he's going to try and convince people that they're saying the same thing. They are not saying the same thing. They're talking about releasing two different things. And Gallego says, I will accept your amendment to it be included. We'll release both of them. And Mark J. Lee Hull Osment, Lee Harvey Oswald McMullins is going to say, no, they're the same, so just accept mine. Like, they're literally trying to just say, no, don't talk about it, just do mine. It's the same. It's the same. And he's like, it's not the same. And he's like, no, it's the same. Just do it.
On the judges and calling upon the judges to release it. So as if in legislation session and notwithstanding Rule 22, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the consideration of S-Res 335, which is at the desk. Further, I ask unanimous consent that the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, and that the motion to reconsider be considered and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection?
Reserving the right to object, Mr. President.
Senator from Arizona is recognized.
Mr. President, let me explain to the American people what just happened. My colleague from Oklahoma refused to join me in calling on the DOJ to release all the Epstein files. Instead, he offered his own resolution calling on the courts to unseal the records. When asked if we did both, which I am asking to do both, I want to call for transparency, and of course we could ask the Justice Department and the courts. He's also going to object. Republicans are demanding the courts be transparent, but aren't willing to ask the same thing of the Trump DOJ.
Now, is there anybody here that thinks this makes any fucking sense? That the Republicans would be saying, do not release the Epstein files, but release the court, the grand jury testimony? So they want to force the courts to release something, and they want to not force Trump. And by the way, McMullen's reasoning for this is that there's a separation of powers, and we don't want to tread on the presidential powers of declassification, but they would be treading in the other direction. It's the same thing. If you're saying we don't want to force the president to do something, but we're comfortable forcing the courts to do something, that's the same. Like, this is what these checks and balances are about, is that sometimes you do have to force people. So just somebody explain to me why Republicans would want the grand jury testimony to be released, but not the Epstein files. So explain it to me like I'm a fucking idiot, or MAGA. Just explain it like I've got 8 brain cells and occasionally they collide with each other.
This is the height of hypocrisy. They want to tell the courts to be transparent, but aren't willing for themselves to be transparent. This is for the second time in 1 week. The Senate had the chance to demand transparency and stand up for the truth. Instead, my colleagues chose to protect, again, the powerful elites. If there's truly nothing to hide in those files, then what are they so afraid of? What are they hiding? Why the panic? Why the backpedaling? And why all the objections? Congress should work for the people, not the powerful elites, and definitely not for one man or one administration. Today's resolution should have made that clear. Therefore, I ask the consent that the consent request be modified such that my resolution, SR 325, be discharged from the Committee on the Judiciary. Further, that the Senate proceed to the en bloc consideration of SR 335 and SR 325, that the resolutions be agreed to, that the preamble be agreed to, and the motions to be reconsidered be considered made.
All right, let me skip through that and let's get to Mullen's response here. Now, here's Mullen's response. I'll try and skip the procedural stuff. Sorry, I let that go a little too long.
It's interesting that my colleague wants to continue talking about the elites, but the elites was the ones that actually covered up the last 4 years of the Biden administration. I mean, think about what happened during the Biden administration. They covered
while he's covering for Epstein and the Epstein files, he wants to go back to the Biden administration. And now they're going to go up to this unproven conspiracy theory that Joe Biden was not running the government, which they've been unable to prove. But now they want to anything but the fact that they're running cover for Trump. And here's where he's going to admit it. Here's where they're going to get real fucking honest. Now, remember, Trump instructed him and all of his friends that anytime there was any question that's asked of you that you don't want to answer, that's uncomfortable for you to answer, like, why not release both? Which is what Gallego just asked him. Why can't we release both of them? When you get a question you don't like, remember, deflect to Joe Biden, deflect to Obama, talk about anything but the subject at hand. And this little bootlicking bitch, he was happy to comply. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. If I don't like the question, what do? I talk about Obama and Biden? Yes, sir. Here we go.
Covered up, 1, for his cognitive behavior. 2, they covered up the Hunter Biden laptop. 3, they covered up the Russian gate and continue to cover up the Russian gate. And 4, they covered up the fact that an auto pen signed every one of his papers except one. Where was the cover-up? Where'd the elites come from?
What are you talking about? He's only he only ever signed one paper. By the way, auto pen, totally legal. This isn't even a fucking cover-up. That's like you accusing me of brushing my teeth. Okay. You can do that. You can use AutoPen. It's not a fucking crime to use AutoPen. The president can use AutoPen. What are we talking about? On one side, we're saying, hey, there's the most notorious P3DO in the history of our country, and Donald Trump's name is in the files, along with many other elite people who have incredible amounts of wealth. We know that their names are in these files, and you won't release them. And he's saying, why would I release them when Joe Biden used an auto pen? The fuck? You're not this stupid. You're not. You're just not this fucking dumb. Grow up, Republicans. Don't let yourself look this fucking dumb. Nobody's this stupid. Nobody would fall for this shit unless you're just on Donald Trump. That's the only way you fall for this. Nobody's this stupid. You all want the Epstein files. Every last one of you. Don't let him be like, well, Joe Biden did something that was totally legal. Okay, cool. I don't care. Nobody cares. It's not a crime. Even if you found out Joe Biden signed 90% of his shit with AutoPen, then what? See, told you. All right. By the way, I don't remember any of you saying Joe Biden used an AutoPen. This is not evidence of anything. They're running cover for Trump. They want to talk about anything but the Epstein files. And we're going to get so fucking sick of the Epstein files, but I feel like we have a responsibility not to shut up about it. Don't let this work. And they put up a dipshit to do it too. There's nobody else that really wants to do this. You don't have people lining up to blow Trump publicly. But Lee Harvey Oswald McMullen's here. He's happy to do it. Oh, I'll publicly fillet him anytime. I hope he finishes on my face.
Well, it's because of the pressure from the Biden administration that actually did put it on the lead on all the social media outlets. It's interesting, when I started talking to social media's founders after President Trump was elected, they said, we feel like we can actually do our job again. Why? Because the DOJ wasn't threatening to sue them. The Biden administration wasn't threatening to blackmail them. But yet
you guys are just suing everybody! The fuck are you talking about? The Biden administration didn't sue the social media companies. They didn't sue the media companies. That's you, bitch. That's fucking you. When I talk to the social media people, they say we can finally do our job again. Oh, yeah, they couldn't do their job. Social media wasn't working for 4 years. Everything was broken. Nobody could do their job in social media because they were too busy taking down COVID conspiracies. Shut the fuck up. Can we get back to Epstein for a second? Do anybody else think that this is not on topic? What they're debating right now on this bill is whether or not the Republicans should allow the Epstein files to be released. And he wants to talk about anything but that. That's what this is about. Why the fuck are we talking about social media companies now?
Colleague from Arizona is saying that we're covering up for the elites. Let's be honest. We know these files have been out there forever. I don't remember a single time the Biden administration called on these things to be released. And I don't remember a single time you fucking bitches called for the grand jury testimony to be released. You're calling for something to be released that you've never called for to be released. And then you're like, you guys have never called for this to be released. You're doing the same shit. It's just that they want all of it released and you want some of it released. What are we doing? How does this work? This is how brain dead Republicans, like MAGA Republicans, are. This shit actually works. He's just trying to not talk about the fact that he is running cover for Trump, that he doesn't want you guys to know the truth. Just so you know, when you find yourself going, oh, I like this guy, he's saying that you're too stupid to get the files, that you're too stupid to be told the truth to, that they have to continue to lie to you because you're too fucking stupid to function unless they're lying to you. That's what your representatives are telling you. Oh, you guys can't be trusted with honesty. We're going to have to hide some shit from you. And you're like, that's true. We are pretty dumb. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should focus on Joe Biden some more. I don't remember my colleague from Arizona calling on these files to be released. As I've said before, this is nothing more than political theater.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're doing political theater right now. We're debating whether or not to release files, and you're yelling at Democrats. This is political theater. You're doing political theater while you're saying this is political theater. And by the way, Gallego wasn't doing political theater. Gallego said, I'm here to work with you. Let's take both of what we want and let's put it together and win-win. And Mullins is like, it's not a win-win because what I'm trying to do is make sure nobody finds out about this stuff. I'm running cover for Trump. So it's not a win-win. We can only do mine. And if we don't do mine and mine only, then this is all political theater. Which his logic behind that doesn't make any fucking sense because he's saying that we can't do theirs because they weren't talking about it. He wasn't talking about what he wants to do either. And he's been in office. Somebody want to go back and find me a record of Mullins here going like, we need to release the grand jury testimony, but not the Epstein files. He didn't do that either.
Everybody sees it. The American people sees it. And what else can President Trump and AG Bondi do but call on the judges to release the information?
They could release the files. They could release the files. That's what else could they do? Release the files, declassify them. That's actually the only thing they can do. They can't force the judges to release grand jury testimony. And by the way, the filings that they use to try and compel that grand jury testimony, the judges are like, you know this is bullshit. You know you didn't give us anything. Come back, please. Come back when you actually have something we can do. You've given us a request. In the filings are like, we know that you can't release this, but please. And they're like, no, you have to give us a justification. That's how our law works. And they're like, oh, look at these Obama judges who are hiding this. You guys are not this dumb. I promise you're better than this. Don't get played by dipshits. If you want the grand jury testimony released, Congress can try and subpoena it, or you can when Trump's lawyers go to these judges, they can give them a legitimate reason to release it. But the reality is, the grand jury testimony doesn't really fucking matter. Everything from the grand jury testimony will be in those files, and in those files, you won't have somebody going, "I plead the fifth." There's nothing from the grand jury testimony that won't be in the files. However, there's lots of stuff in the files that aren't in the grand jury testimony, which makes it seem like Republicans are protecting the stuff that's in the files, doesn't it?
We're simply going back and forth here saying the same thing. The difference between my resolution and my colleagues from Arizona's resolution is mine isn't blurring the boundaries between separation of power.
Yes, it is. It's the same. Like, these are your checks and balances. If you are trying to get the courts to release it, but you say you can't try and get the president to release it, then you're just kind of a bitch. I think that's what we're left with. You're not afraid of the courts, but you're afraid of Trump.
Mine is simply calling upon the judges to release the information. What my colleague's resolution does is truly trying to tell the FBI and the DOJ how they can proceed in doing their job and how they can actually present the information.
Yeah. Give us the fucking files. It's fine if we compel the courts to do something, but how dare my colleagues compel Donald Trump's administration to do something? How dare they tell him what to do? But it's fine if we tell the courts what to do. The problem is you're not sucking the court's dick. You're sucking Donald Trump's dick. You only got one mouth, so what are you going to do? You know, to come in on the dick that you came in, or leave with the dick you came in on.
Basically saying that we want all that information to go through Congress.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure Congress has never once played politics with any information. I'm sure that this investigation.
Hey, guys, we can't tell you the truth because Congress can't tell the truth. We're so incapable of telling the truth that you guys just never get to know the truth. Sorry. I guess Donald Trump's innocent. That's what a member of Congress right now is like. We're too fucked up to tell you the truth. By the way, we don't care what you say. Just give us the files. We'll figure it out ourselves. I already figured out you guys gave us the files that Tulsi Gabbard released. I figured out you were lying. It's not that hard. We can read. We can analyze that shit. We just want the files, please. We don't really care about your interpretation of the files.
Investigation be handled much like other investigations into this administration that the Democrats have done over the last, 8 years.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
I'm sure this would be handled just like any other thing that they've tried to go after, like the baseless impeachments
Yeah, he was impeached twice. Both were based. One of them, he tried to overthrow our fucking government by staging a coup, and the other one, he withheld congressionally appropriated funds past the time he was allowed to try and get political dirt on his political enemies. And so both of them not only were not baseless, they were warranted, and they led to him being impeached.
Or the baseless special counsels. Or the
He sucks so bad at this. Or the baseless special what special counsels are you talking about there, bud? What you talking about? You're in Congress. We cover this for a living. What the fuck are you talking about? He's already run out of things that were unfair. The baseless impeachments that were totally based. Yeah. Or the counsels, the special counsels. Okay.
unbelievable amount of charges they've tried to file against the president.
That wasn't the Democrats, dipshit. That wasn't the members of Congress. Congress didn't file any charges against him. See, now we've already left Congress. This is how bad you guys are at this. Like everything Donald Trump does is just Democrats' fault. It's all the Democrats. We can't trust Congress because people at the DOJ charged Trump with crimes. That's not Congress. That's the executive branch. Wrong branch, bitch. Wrong one. And guess what? Every time he went to court, he was guilty. Every time. He was not let off the hook on any of those. He was never found innocent on any of them. Every time they actually were able to get Trump in a courtroom, he lost. What's up, Jen?
So we do have someone waiting to chat with you. So they're already there.
Is he going to try and debate me on the fucking moon landing?
No, I sent you some screenshots.
Okay, I saw him talking about the moon. I see him talking about the.
Yeah.
All right.
There's.
All right. Yeah.
No, I'll get you. So he's there. He's waiting.
All right.
But yeah.
So he wants to debate that Trump is actually a good guy and that he's not the enemy. Okay.
And other things. I mean, I can grab other screenshots of what he's talking about. But yeah. So before we get into that, as you guys can know, these conversations can take a bit of a turn. So we still have that gift goal we need to knock out before the end of the show. I've sent you an updated number. I don't know if it matches with the one you have.
Yeah, let me read. Let me read through them all too before we get there.
Yeah, so Roland, he'll be there with you in just a second once he reads through some of these messages. So if you guys could help us out, we do have Friendly Friday today. So if you guys could help us knock out the remaining, I know I haven't been bugging you guys as much for it today. But so if you guys could just like surprise me and just blow out the goal so I don't have to say it again, I would be very happy. That I would actually smile or something. So if you guys could do that, that would be fantastic.
All right. Brianna said, "What did the deer say when he left the gay bar? I can't believe I just blew $50 in there." That's a good joke. Mika says, "Missing the show today, but minus 10 points for me." Great news. The replays are always available. We'll catch you on the replays. Rebecca said, "Love you, Jen." It wasn't me said, "Every time I think they can't be more vile." Wrong. Tony said, P3DO's protecting other P3DOs. He will pardon her. Probably. That's probably accurate. And then let me read through these. Trump will go down as the biggest whiny, self-proclaimed victim in history. Sid said, "For the cow..." Hold on. Let me expand this. "For the coward named Ronald who can't answer my question on Gaza." Okay, I guess we'll answer that. Jen Star said, "The delusional swallowers of taco, gross and spineless." Tommy Dyke said, "For still yelling about the Trump's one files, thank you from Trump's one files." I don't know what he's trying to say. T1. "Thank you for all the women and survivors." Bamarola said, "Ties and offerings." Mary said, "I don't want to cry. Thanks, Jay and Jen." Cooking said, "Can't have the gift goal for crying because Jen will cry. Then I'll cry. We'll all start crying." Jen is laying it on thick today. Trump preyed on the hate inside people. He is solipsistic. I don't know what that word means. I'm gonna have to look that up. Jen Starr, thanks for the super chat. Amy Lynn said, "Maria Farmer went to the FBI back in the late 90s and early 2000s, so not political." Tanya said, "I told my doctor I broke my arm in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places." Amy Lynn said she taught underage girls how to do adult acts, referring to Ghislaine. And Sid said, "Don't be a MAGA moron, Reed. We know you switched your white hoodies for red hats." Amy Lynn said they're going to blame South Park for their predictions. They must have gotten the briefing. Rory said this because I like you people. Thanks, Rory. And then I think I read that one. All right, I think I'm all caught up. Let me hop over there. Roland, you there? It shows you're muted. I don't know if you knew that.
Hey, what's up, bro?
There we are.
I'm here.
What's up, man?
Sorry, I had you playing. Not much. I just want to talk to you, get you on the right path, but
Appreciate that.
I just don't want to get emotional. So
Why not?
I know you get a little emotional.
What's wrong with being emotional?
Because you start cussing and going all wild
Oh,
out and believing the propaganda.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll do my best not to get emotional. I'll do my best. I'll probably still cuss, though. It's kind of how I do things.
If you do, that's cool. Just don't let them get to you. This is how they want you, and I'm here
to
make you aware of that. They
Good.
want you divided. They want you triggered. They want you angry.
Good. Straight.
They want us fighting.
Okay.
They don't want us to.
Roland, that's good.
They don't want us to join each other.
Roland, I get it. What do you want to talk about, bud?
I just want to talk about how Trump is not the bad guy. Trump is the good guy.
Okay.
That's taking on the left and right, and the left is only telling you that he's taking on.
So why is
the
he
left,
trying?
but he's
So
actually taking
why
on
is he
both.
trying to block these files then? If he's the good guy?
From what I'm seeing, is he wants to protect innocent people in the files, but that's irrelevant. I mean,
Couldn't we just protect the innocent people in the files by blocking out their names and any images of them?
You could.
So why don't we?
mean,
So why wouldn't he
that's-
just? So why wouldn't he just release the files with blocking out their names and images?
Well, how do you know he's not already starting that process, or how do we know that he's not already doing that?
Well,
the
he
fake
would.
news is not. Fake news is not going to tell us.
The fake news isn't
He's
going
not
to tell
gonna
us what.
His team is not going to tell us.
Oh, so I'm just supposed
They're
to.
not going to tell us about their plans.
Oh, so why not? Why wouldn't they just tell us their plans? Why wouldn't Trump just come out? Why wouldn't?
Not how it works.
Why wouldn't Trump come out and say we're going through them right now? We're redacting the names. As soon as we're done redacting the names and the
Well,
photos, we'll get
he
them to you.
actually has said that.
When did he
But
say
he's
that?
not saying what specifically.
When did he say that?
I mean, I listen to everything Trump puts out.
When
so
did he say that?
He said it either. It's probably last week. Actually,
and what was his
every
quote?
day he's been asked about it.
And what was his quote that he said that they were working on releasing the files?
He's saying he wants Pam Bondi, which I don't trust. I don't trust Pam Bondi at all.
Of course not.
He wants her to put out credible
Why does
evidence.
Trump?
He wants
Why
her to
does
put out
Trump trust?
credible
Why
evidence.
does Trump trust her so much if he's the good guy?
Trump
Is
is
Trump
80 years
confused
old,
too?
bro. He
Oh.
has advisors. He relies on rhinos. He relies on bad people. We do not worship Trump and MAGA, bro. We know he does wrong. He is listening to bad people. He's listening to the Uniparty, people like Lindsey
How
Graham.
do you know that
Mitch
they're?
McConnell,
How do you know
brain
they're the
dead.
bad people and he's not?
Just the way everything is led up, the way the Russia thing went on. I was a Democrat up until 2020.
Yeah, I know.
I believe Russia
Everybody always tells me that, and I don't care about that. Are you saying that you don't think that Russia? Are you saying that you don't think Russia? Are you saying that you don't think Russia worked with the Trump campaign?
No, not at all.
So why did Paul Manafort and Michael Flynn plead guilty to working with Russia while they were on the Trump campaign?
Well, Manafort, that's another story. But Flynn didn't.
Well, he
plead
was
guilty
Trump's.
at all.
He was. He did plead guilty. That's why he was.
No,
That's why he was pardoned. He pled guilty, and then Trump pardoned him.
Well, who's the one that went after him, though?
Excuse me. Are you unaware?
You're
Wait.
probably-
Excuse me. You said he did not plead guilty. I need you to recognize. I need you to get on your phone right now and Google. Did Michael Flynn? No. No talking. No talking.
You're getting
No talk.
emotional.
No.
You didn't even hear what I said.
Brother. You said Michael Flynn did not plead guilty. I need you to fact check that real quick. Google it. No. I'm not asking you to talk. I'm not asking you to talk. I'm asking you to Google. Did Michael? Excuse me.
I didn't say that.
Excuse me.
He didn't.
Excuse me.
Listen, you're not even. You're trying to just get on me and
Excuse
do a
me.
gotcha.
Excuse me. You said.
Michael Flynn
Excuse
is not
me.
guilty.
Shut up,
Even
please.
though
Be
he
quiet.
was-
Be
he-
quiet.
he
Be
pled
quiet.
guilty.
Oh, so he did plead guilty.
You see how you are?
So he did plead guilty.
see how you
Okay,
are?
good. Now keep going. Now that we're on the same page that he pled guilty, go ahead.
And what did you prove by that? I mean, I told you that's
You
not
said
what I
he
meant.
did. You said he didn't plead
Pled
guilty.
He got pardoned.
I know. That's what I said. So why did he
I'm
plead
telling
guilty?
you, the people going after him are going after
Why
him
did he
because of
plead
political
guilty?
reasons. You see, you're just too emotional. I
Why
can't even
did
debate you
he
right now
plead
because
guilty?
nothing I tell you will change your mind.
No, I'm asking you
the
questions.
The only way I change my mind is
hey,
because
brother,
a loved one,
brother, I'm not going to waste. I'm not going to waste.
Listen,
Listen, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on you if you're not going to answer my questions. Okay, so you need to answer questions. Why did Michael Flynn plead guilty?
This is the same thing.
Why?
People tell
Last
you, why did
chance.
you beat
Last
your
chance,
wife?
bud. Last chance. Last chance, bud. Why did Michael Flynn plead guilty?
Because he's a retard. He shouldn't have.
All right, now you got to go because now you're dropping slurs. God damn, every fucking time with you people, every fucking time. And now he's gonna now he's gonna go back in the chat and he's gonna be like, "Oh, you're running from the debate." Every time, every fucking time with these people, they get caught, and then it's a slur every goddamn time. Watch, here it comes in the comments from Roland. All right, well, back to it. Let's go. Let's get back to Mark Lee Wayne. See, there's Roland. What I tell you? I told you exactly what he'd say.
I'm sure this would be handled the exact same way. What we're simply wanting to do here is give them cover. So if my colleague...
Oh, this is the part. Good timing. Here's now Mark, Lee Harvey Oswald, Haley Joel Osment admitting what they're doing.
Baseless impeachments. Or the baseless special counsels. Or the unbelievable amount of charges they've tried to file against the president. I'm sure this would be handled the exact same way. What we're simply wanting to do here is give them cover. So if my colleague...
We're just trying to give him cover. He just said it. We are not an independent body. All we're trying to do as members of Congress is give the Trump administration cover. We don't want them to have to listen to us. We don't want them to have to accept our checks and balances. We're just trying to run cover for them.
From Arizona actually wants transparency, that he would drop his objection to my resolution and just simply have mine go through and we can move forward with the...
We're running cover for Trump. And if this senator from Arizona wants transparency, then he would stop asking us to release the Epstein files, and he would instead accept my resolution, stand alone, where we don't get the files, but instead all we get is the grand jury testimony. You guys buying this? A good argument for you guys, Republicans? That's a pretty good argument for you? We're running cover for Trump, and because of that, Democrats need to drop this nonsense about transparency and instead just accept that we're going to give them what Trump wants to give them and not anything else.
Transparency that maybe both of us actually want. So therefore, I object to combining them. I would ask my colleague once again to accept my resolution.
The objection is heard to the modification. Is there objection to the original request?
Mr. President, reserving the right to object.
Lee said, I love hearing facts with proof. Commie Deck said it was supposed to say Trumpstein files. There we go. Sid said, this is how RUB. I don't know what that means. I think I know what that means. Appreciate that. Miss Terry said, happy Friday. I don't know if I read that.
Let's just understand
New
why
Mexico
we're
is
here.
recognized.
Let's just understand why we're here. The political theater was started more than 8 years ago. The political theater started just 5 months ago when the president said, after appointing his attorney general, that they're going to release the Epstein files. When the attorney general said, I have those files right here, I'm going to show them to you. And then all of a sudden, the shenanigans started. All of a sudden, the files are gone. They're not there. They're made up by somebody else. That's where this political theater is coming from. And the American public wants to know why. Why after...
Yeah. I think that's an important point here. The whole reason people are upset about the Epstein files, including Republicans, is because Pam Bondi staged this event and was like, look, we're transparent. We're going to give you the Epstein files. And then when they opened up those binders, they were like, okay, wait, we already have this. This has already been released. You just put it in a binder. And she's like, yeah, that was just phase 1. See, we have all these other files that we found out the Southern District of New York has, and we told them, you better give us those fucking files. And so now we're getting those files, and we're going to see what they've been hiding. And then she's like, those files are here. We're going over them right now. They spent like thousands of hours going through those files. And now she's like, yeah, you can't have them. It's like, we didn't start this. You guys did. You guys asked for the files. She gave you files that already existed. And then you guys said, hey, what the fuck? And she's like, no, we'll get them to you. And then she's like, they're coming. And then we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And then we find out. And this is when admittedly, Democrats became interested. Because then we found out that Trump was in them. And we knew that he was in them. And we've always suspected that Trump was in the files, but we didn't ever think it was going to be released because of the same thing we've been saying. Like, we think that Israel and the CIA are covering. We know that we've always known that Epstein was at the very least like an informant for the CIA, and there was a lot of rumors that he had worked with the IDF as well. And so everybody in America has just kind of accepted that we weren't going to get them. You guys did too. We all did. Everybody just kind of like gave up until Republicans revived it. And this is what's so crazy is you guys revived it. Your administration was like, look at us. We're going to do it. We're finally going to do it. And then they didn't release them. And then instead of releasing them, they're like, never mind. Here's the Martin Luther King Jr. files. And you guys are like, wait, hold on. We asked for the Epstein files. You guys, this is your mess. Lay in it. But now because we're involved, suddenly you're like, you know what? I actually don't want transparency. Now that the Democrats are siding with us, I don't want transparency on this issue. If the Democrats agree with it, I suddenly think that it's bad. It's got to be it. You're not embarrassed at this at all? Your guys are saying we can't have transparency because Democrats want it too. We used to want it, but now that we have the opportunity, we have bipartisan support here to get transparency. Now suddenly we don't want it. It's almost like your elected leaders won't do anything unless it's all by themselves.
After 8 years, this president promising that I will release the files, why after 8 years getting into the office and then appointing his attorney general, and then
Norma said, thank you both for all you do. From that's Love Only, and Rachel said for exposing the PDFs hiding in the shadows. Thank you very much.
Directing his attorney general to go look for those Epstein files, and that attorney general saying they're going to release Epstein files, and then poof, all of a sudden there's an issue. All of a sudden there's backpedaling. This is what stinks for the American public. This is what
Rebecca says, love you, Jen. Jackie says, love you guys. Swish says, for the grift, double daddy, meow. Amanda says, fuck ICE and got to make Jen smile.
It's like an elite cover-up. That's what we're trying to get to. And if my good colleague from Oklahoma agreed with me, then we would do both. Because that is what is demanded by the American public. Because the first promise was made by this president that they were going to release the files. That is where it's political started. So with that, Mr. Chair, I object to the good senator from Oklahoma's motion, and I yield back.
There we go. All right, just wanted you to see that because that's what happened. That's the reality of the place that we're at now. Whatever side of the aisle you land on, there is the Democrats are saying we want we want everything, and the Republicans are saying we want some things. If you are a person who doesn't want to play party politics, if you don't want to play political theater, just see it for what it is. Then take out Republicans and Democrats. There is a minority of people in Congress who want all complete transparency. And the majority of people in Congress are saying we want only some transparency. And that transparency seems to come at the direction of Donald Trump. They seem to do whatever he says. So for whatever reason, if you are still a MAGA supporter at this point, let's just be honest. What you're supporting at this point is the government telling you that we can't tell you the truth. And you're saying that's fine with us. That's completely fine. Keep it from us. Give it, just keep telling us what to do, daddy government, please. And that's fine. If that's your position, just say it's your position. And if you didn't know that was your position, and this is, and now you're realizing that this is your party's position, side with them or don't side with them. But if you're somebody who's like, I want full transparency, the Republicans are not for you. Your mommy dominating over there on TikTok. Shrugs coming in second, right, with Maui, Wise, Roster Ranch, and Shands rounding up the top 5. Thank you guys so much for the gifts on TikTok. Let's see if we can get those likes up over 150,000 too. We're at 95 right now, over on 95,000 likes over on TikTok. Let's see if we can get those ones up. But thank you guys so much. I don't know if we have an update from Jen on number. Okay, let's do this. Let me find this video and then I'll update the number actually. Where is this one? Where is it? Sorry. All right. I thought I had this other video. I must be short on a video. One last thing before we get to Friendly Friday. I think with the goal. Let me just do the math so that I can cover this and not have to worry about it. There we go. All right, this is one of the things that I've been nervous about, and I'm going to do some bipartisan shit here, or nonpartisan shit here. I covered the story yesterday of Texas saying, essentially Trump calling into Texas and saying, gerrymander, please, we need to pick up 5 seats. And now what you have is this response that is totally predictable from the Democrats. And do I think that 2 wrongs make a right? No. But if Republicans are going to gerrymander and Democrats decide not to play the game or vice versa, then they're giving themselves a disadvantage, which they're not going to do. Now, in New York, they redrew districts, and I think this has actually already been adjudicated. I think they temporarily have had to go back to previous lines drawn. But responding to Texas, who has become closer to blue than further from blue, it's still a red state, but you're every election, you're getting more and more blue voters. There is no indication, and there's no data I've seen that says that Texas Republicans are underrepresented in the Electoral College. In fact, every bit of analysis says they are overrepresented in the Electoral College, and yet Texas is going to redraw their lines to make it worse. Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul says she's not ruling out a mid-decade redrawing of New York's House lines now, as deep red Texas and Ohio move to reshape their maps through redistricting. All's fair in love and war. We're following the rules. We do redistricting every 10 years, Hochul said. But if the other states start violating the rules and are trying to give themselves an advantage, all I'll say is I'm going to look at it closely with Hakeem Jeffries. Jeffries, in a podcast interview Monday, said Democrats should keep Republicans politically on the run. I'm in conversation with members of the New York delegation, as well as the governor, to explore what, if anything else, can be done to ensure New York does its part with respect to fair maps across the country, Jeffries said. And every single state is going to have to do the same thing because Republicans are desperate. This is exactly what I was afraid of. This is exactly what we should be afraid of every time. It's easy to point at Republicans and say they gerrymander. It's easy to point at Democrats and say they gerrymander. But either way, what we're looking at is a voting base. Take your party affiliation away. What you're looking at is the government saying we will determine how much impact your voice has, and whoever runs your state is going to make that determination. This is further away from democracy. This is further deep state shit. This is further control by the elected body. This is them saying we know better than you. Everybody. This is Republicans and Democrats. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you so much. Said finish this goal. And this is what I'm afraid of. This is where this 2-party system, like we got to get our heads out of our ass at some point, and we've got to change laws. What I would love to see, if I could take the outcome here and control the outcome entirely. What I would like to see is Texas is going to gerrymander. And because Texas gerrymanders, New York needs to gerrymander, Ohio's going to gerrymander, which means California needs to gerrymander, which means Florida's going to gerrymander, which means Pennsylvania needs to gerrymander. And you're going to see a bunch of people try their best to cheat. And there's not a goddamn thing we can do about that. What I would love to see for the people that I want to vote for, and I'm just going to be honest here, like I would vote for Ted Cruz. If Ted Cruz was on my ticket and Ted Cruz came and said, look, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm running on. We're going to do universal health care. We're going to end Citizens United. After this election, we're going to get Citizens United done. There will be no more dark money in politics. And we're going to change the gerrymandering rules. Well, the gerrymandering rules cannot be done by state legislators. There needs to be independent boards that make this determination. It needs to be based solely on data. Everything else Ted Cruz stands for, I could even get behind Ted Cruz on that. Just if he said that. And I think everybody could get behind ending Citizens United, but we're not, because these people are all power hungry. And again, like, fuck Ted Cruz, fuck Texas, but also fuck Kathy Hochul, and also fuck Hakeem Jeffries, because they're playing this game, and they're like bragging about playing this game now. What we're seeing in real time with this gerrymandering issue is just the consistent stripping of voices from American citizens by politicians who want power. And Kathy Hochul's fortunate right now. Hakeem Jeffries is fortunate right now. They get to point at Texas and say, look, in Ohio, and say, look, they're doing it, so we have to do it. And they're right. They do have to do it. They do have to do it if they don't want this to be completely rigged. But what none of them ever do after this is then go fix the problem. Sometimes a problem comes up, and sometimes you have to work within the rules that are created. And if everybody else is cheating, you might have to cheat too. But what nobody ever does is says, I'll run on this and we're going to fix it. Nobody ever fixes this, because the reality is they need this. They need the power. They want the power. They're obsessed with the power. And it's getting fucking old. On Monday, I'm going to play this entire focus group from Charlie Kirk. Not because I necessarily think Charlie Kirk's conclusions are good, but because I saw, I haven't even watched the whole thing, but from what I saw, I see a lot of conservative Gen Z voters who have a ton of overlap with me. I see a ton of Gen Z voters who are concerned about the outsized influence that dark money groups have in our government, specifically at this point, Israel. But if you can convince these Gen Z voters that Israel has an outsized influence, imagine how they're going to feel when they see these other dark money groups and how much influence they have. And I think that we have, like, for the first time, a generation of people that may politically be opposite, but there is this like unifying feature ideology that they all have, that is, we're being fucked by dark money, and that we don't have a real voice, and that we're not really heard. And I want to see Democrats at the very least start to act on this, and if they don't, they're screwed. One thing Charlie Kirk is not is uncalculated. Charlie Kirk has been one of the most like vehement defenders of Israel. He's been the person who every time Israel does anything wrong, they're like, does Israel have the right to exist? And his audience is turning on him. And so he is changing his tune. He recognizes something that I hope the Democrats recognize too, that this is a winning message. Shutting Israel out is a winning message. Not being complicit in genocide is a winning message. It's a winning message among his constituents, and he identifies that, which is why he's changing his message. And if we sit there and pretend that he can't get some of that vote, you're out of your mind. He's ahead of the game right now, and Charlie Kirk was ahead of the game in 2020. He's ahead of it, and that messaging from Charlie Kirk can't go can't go by without somebody challenging his other views. Because if Charlie Kirk gets to win this message on we don't support Israel, then all the other ideologies that we hate about Charlie Kirk will win. If he's able to capture these young voters around that unifying message, and we're going to lose a lot of those voters for a long time. And they're going to wind up not realizing that they're just following like a Christian nationalist cult. And that soon you'll hear those same people be like, yeah, I don't really know if women should be voting. I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe you should have to be married to vote. Maybe you should have to be a property owner to vote. Maybe we should do something. Maybe we should resegregate some stuff. So be aware of that, and Democrats need to be aware of that. And I hope you guys are forcing your leaders to discuss that in your local leaders. I think it's time for Friendly Friday now. If you are in the Discord, you can start lining up for Friendly Friday. Last hour of the show is Friendly Friday. I haven't updated the gift goal. I'll try. I think it's like 30 short, but I think we're almost there. Anyways, Jen, anything you want to add before we do Friendly Friday?
No, I mean, I think, yeah, I think you're about right for the total. So, sorry,
Let me read these while you're looking. Then Danielle said, "Please check your Discord messages this weekend."
so yeah, no,
Oh.
thanks for you guys helping us out, pulling through with the goals and stuff like that. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, please do so. And then if you're in the Discord and want to join us, if you guys want to start hopping into the general chat, and we'll get over there.
Thanks, Jen. Amy Lynn said, "Shiny Happy People season 2 is great about the culting." I'm trying to. Did I watch Shiny Happy People season 1? I can't remember what that is. What is Shiny Happy People? Oh, it's the Duggar family one. Yeah, I did see season 1. I didn't know there was a season 2. I'll be watching that. Danielle said, "Please check your Discord messages this weekend. I sent some info, and I'm hoping you can look into it and hopefully cover it. Keep up the great work." Danielle, I've seen all your messages. I do read them. There's so many messages, and I do think some of this stuff you've sent me I've used before. So keep sending them to me. I apologize I don't always respond because you send long messages. But I am reading them, so keep sending them. Jody said, "Have a great weekend, everybody." Sid said, "Helping with the goal." Amy Lynn said, "Based on voting, Dems make up about 47% of Texas based on the last primary." Yeah, it's very close. I didn't know it was 47%. The Proud Atheist said, "For all the comments saying with no demonstration, you don't know what you're talking about. You've proven you do. They have no other argument." Thank you. I appreciate that. My biggest concern, fear, is publicly saying something that was wrong and being corrected. So I try really hard. I'll take the correction, but it makes me feel icky. So I try really hard not to say things I don't know. Not that it hasn't happened, because I'm sure it has. Steve said this is Rich. Gal walks into the pro shop. She tells the pro, "I got stung by a bee." She says wait, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Gal walks into the pro shop, tells the pro, "I got stung by a bee." She says, "Between the first and second hole." Pro says, your stance is too wide." That's a good golf joke. I don't know if you guys get that. That's a good golf joke. James said, "Good show, bud." Thanks, James. Wasn't me said, "My GOP BFF left. I felt like gnawing on an exhaust." God bless you. You got this. Okay, I think I got through all the comments. Let me jump over into.
I saw something in the comments that Isaiah Martin was arrested.
Oh, is that real?
I don't know if it is or not. Let's see if I can find her.
I saw him. Was he testifying in Texas yesterday or something? I think I saw a video of him. What did he
I'll
get?
look for it while we get going, but I'll look for it while we're going. But he was his pro. RGZ, do you have a link? Is there a story that anyone has?
I think I've got it. Hold on, let's see. Texas. This is congressional Democratic candidate Isaiah Martin running in 2026 District 18 election. He not only had his mic shut off, he was also dragged out of the hearing, pushed to the floor twice, and arrested. Let's see.
Testimony. Well, hello to the committee. I'm Isaiah Martin, and it's very apparent that no one seems to know why we're here. It just seems as if many are just sitting here going with the emotions. And it makes sense, because the game is rigged. We already know this way the situation's going to be. Many of you that are Republicans that are looking at you guys understand the game. You got to get Trump's endorsement. That's the name of the game to be a Republican nowadays. And you know very clearly that Trump told every single one of you that he needs 5 seats, is what he said. So why do we play this game where we come here to an empty chamber in which all of you pretend as if you don't know what's going on when you already know what the situation is? But the real conversation that we should be having, that I want every single one of you to understand, is that there will be a retaliation for that. You've seen states like California say that they will gerrymander Republicans out of their states. You see the same thing in Maryland.
Hey, when I'm on the same side, when I'm saying the same shit as Isaiah, I feel good about that.
The same thing is going to happen in New York. While you were in here, Governor Kathy Hochul said that she will be gerrymandering Republicans out of their seats. The same thing is going to happen in New Jersey. So for all of the work that you guys see, that you guys claim to be doing, when we should be talking about the fact that we live in a state that is unaffordable for people, our economy is wrecked, people cannot find good jobs, we literally have property taxes going up every single year, despite the fact that you Republicans have been in office for nearly 30 straight years. I mean, this is the game that we live in right here. And you choose, after we literally got after one of the worst mass casualty events in our state's history, to go and gerrymander people out of their seats. That's what you have chosen to do with your time, because you're scared of Donald Trump. You are scared and terrified because you're seeking an endorsement when you understand the truth. And the funny part about it is that you all know it's true. You can't react to it. I see you guys' faces. You can't react to it, but you all know what the situation is. Because Donald Trump runs this body. He runs your vote, he runs your vote, he runs your vote, he runs your vote, because you guys know that you cannot dare cross him. And ultimately, what we need in this state are people that have the cojones to actually go forward and call this stuff out. Because what you guys have done to this state is cataclysmically horrific. And I think that everybody across the nation should be able to go look at what you guys have done. So I look forward to Kathy Hochul getting rid of you guys as Republican friends. I look forward to Phil Murphy getting rid of your Republican friends. I look forward to Wes Moore doing the same thing. I think Andy Harris.
Texas got to do something about those mics.
Please finish your testimony.
Congressional career he's about to be done too. All of them will be done. And you can thank your failed, senile, dilapidated, Epstein partying with president for all of the work that we're about to do to every single one of
Okay,
you.
Isaiah.
You did this, you caused this, and this is the result of you and your work. No, I'm not going to finish.
Witness's time has expired.
I'm not finished. Because ultimately, who doesn't have a say in this are the people of the state, the 40 million people that you guys just kicked
Witness
off
will come to order.
The people of the state.
The witness does not. The witness is not recognized.
As a result of what you guys have done, this is a result of your policies. And you have no shame.
Okay.
You have no shame. None.
The witness.
Zero.
The witness.
You have no shame for what you've done. And I think that we all should be standing up here and
just cut off his mic. Cut off his mic. Okay. The gentleman will come to order. We will maintain decorum. The gentleman will be reminded one last time. The gentleman will come to order immediately. All right. The sergeants are directed to remove the gentleman from the room.
History will not remember you kindly for what you have done. They will not. As a matter of fact, history might not remember you at all because of what you have done.
The gentleman will be removed.
Shame. You need to have shame. History will not remember you for what you have done. It is a shame.
Members and members of the public. Oh.
For what you have done.
All right, looks like he's knocked down, but we're not going to see it there.
You need to have shame. You need to have shame. History will not remember you for what you have done. It is a shame. It is horrific for what you have.
Jesus, get off of him.
It's horrific for what you have done. Sir, you should all be ashamed. America will rise up against you.
Whoa, sir, this is my first name. I'm sorry, you can't just wait.
As the chair has exhibited throughout this hearing, the purpose of today is to hear your testimony. When individuals fail to maintain order or decorum, it's disrespectful to the other individuals that are here.
I mean, he was going to get arrested. I'm cool with that kind of political activism, but I mean, he was going to get arrested for that. You can't. Can I just say, I don't think they threw him to the ground. I don't think that that's what happened. It looks like that guy's probably too old to do his job. Isaiah was pushing back and he fell and he took Isaiah with him. But what's the charges? What are the charges here? Yeah, I mean, I think he could be arrested for that. I don't. But that, yeah, good trouble. Exactly. This is good trouble. All right. Let's go to Friendly Friday. That's crazy though. Good for you, Isaiah. Who's first?
All right.
Yeah, follow that. Whoever's first. Good luck.
Swish.
Hey.
You're muted, Swish.
My apologies. I think Kristen was in here before me. Do you want to go to her first?
Either I just remembered. Either whatever you guys prefer.
Kristen, go ahead. All right, cool. Hello, Double Daddy. Hello, Jen. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Happy Friendly Friday. I have so much to say today, yet not a lot to say today. It's a weird day. It's been a weird week, and I am without my partner in crime this weekend. She has left me to go do things for her daughter. Very rude. Very
Wow.
rude.
That's a bad
I
friend.
know. How dare she? She's horrible. Tanya, I love you. I know you're listening, and I hope you have the best day with your daughter tomorrow. So. Yeah, so I don't know. I got to find some stuff to do with myself. Shiny Happy People season 1 was the Duggars, as someone alluded to. Season 2 is not the Duggars. It is
Oh.
the yeah. So out of Texas, it is the oh gosh, hold on just one second. I just had it.
Ron Lucci?
It is. Yeah, it's the teen, is it called Teen Mania? Yeah. So it's the Teen Mania cult really that is out of Texas, and this is an evangelical teenager youth group movement right up your alley,
Okay.
Jay,
Yeah.
really.
I've never
So
even heard of this. I'm
I
looking at it
just
now. Oh, this looks awful.
yeah,
Oh no.
it looks absolutely horrible, and I'm going to be watching it. Did you ever see the one with the Hillsong United documentary? If you've not seen that, I don't know how well it translates over because they're an evangelical Christian and it's the music,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if you
That one's
haven't
so
seen it,
good. Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't know
it's
like all those songs were Hillsong. I had heard all of them.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
did see that one.
I definitely recommend that one too. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna watch Shiny Happy People this weekend. I'm definitely gonna watch the South Park episode. No spoilies. And the other thing too is that the local atheists are having a fundraiser.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna go see what that's about. And I think I'll donate, them being a non-profit and all.
That's stupid.
I think.
That's stupid. Thanks, Swish.
I love y'all.
See
Have
ya.
a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Kirsten.
Hey.
Well, okay. Do you like world history at all?
Yeah, I do. Some of it is a bit disturbing, but I generally like world history.
Okay. So I've been loving Ottoman history lately.
Okay.
So I watched this show. It's called Magnificent Century. And I think it's perfect for like anyone that likes Suleiman Magnificent during his reign. And I just was thinking about how you like Love Island and how you like that drama.
Yeah.
And like this is twice that plus schemes and political conversations and all sorts of stuff.
You said is there like a documentary you recommend? It's called what?
Magnificent Century. It's a drama
Century, okay.
based off of Suleiman Magnificent's life. It follows him when 1520 till his death. I think it was like 1560. No, 1560. I think because Harem, his wife, passed away in 1558.
Okay. I'll look at it. Do they pull each other for chats? Do
No,
they get
but
voted off by the people?
No, but they do kill each other, though. Oh, sorry, I can't say that.
That's all right. We've made it through. All right, I'll check it out. I just added it to my list.
Okay. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.
You too. See it.
Bye.
All right. Devo.
What's up, Devo?
Hi, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
What's new, Jay? How you doing?
Nope, absolutely not. Try again.
Okay. Well, I was gonna originally requested up to talk about something else, but seeing now I'm upset with writing that Isaiah. I agree that I see why he was arrested, but I don't disagree with what he did. He's a brilliant activist that we need. I've in New York. I've donated to his campaign, even though I'm not even in Texas. But just seeing that, I don't know, it infuriates me. Even though he should have been arrested. I hope he's being treated well, but I'm not upset about it. I support what he did.
Me too.
Even though it makes me upset that he was treated that way. And once again, being in New York, I'm not a huge fan of our governor, but hearing her say that if Republicans are going to gerrymander, we're going to do it too.
Yeah.
Totally on board and support that. But actually, the original reason I was going to come up was just everything with Maxwell coming out and talking about, everybody's making her, oh, well, she's the victim, is one of the most infuriating things that I have ever heard.
It's crazy.
They will not believe any women. They won't believe E. Jean Carroll. They won't believe people that come out about Trump. But, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell, oh, yeah, she's totally the victim, and we should totally believe everything that she says and that she was a victim in all of this. And that to me is probably one of the most infuriating things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
You'll only listen to a woman when it benefits your guy, and it's just sick.
Well, I honestly do believe that most people don't know that Ghislaine Maxwell was involved in the actual abuse, because the news has never really covered it that way. She's always been like the facilitator, but nobody really ever explained that. And what's worse is when somebody does know that and then they still advocate for it. Like, that's Dershowitz. He knows what she did. So when Dershowitz is like, she should be released, it's like, whoa, dude, you know what she did. Those are the ones that are really disgusting.
Or as it's coming out, what she did, people still say, well, she was a victim. She was forced to. The hypocrisy makes me sick. And so I'm not done with my work day, but I'm ready for a drink. So
Go get it. You deserve it.
All right. Well, thank you. I know I went over time.
Okay.
I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thanks for coming up. See ya.
All right. Bye.
That's right.
Bobby.
It's Ghislaine. We do need to correct that. On this stream, it's Ghislaine. Bobby.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I moved to Utah, so if you want to come home, Daddy, I'm here.
Oh, pass. Where did you move to?
I don't want to say that. South, though.
Oh, okay. South's better. If you're going to be in Utah, South is better. So that's good. Sorry about that, though.
It's so weird here. Like the mountains and the sky are pretty, and the sunsets are cool, but I'm not in my element here. Like, everybody in my neighborhood goes to the same church, and so like they all know who are their friends, and they know who doesn't go to their church, but I don't know who doesn't go to their church because I don't go to their church. So it's super weird.
Want to learn a fun Utah hack? Just tell them, just tell them occasionally that you're kind of like that you've been to church and that you're going to go again someday, and they'll keep inviting you to church, but they'll do it with like food. You'll start getting like meals and cookies. You can milk Mormons for years by pretending that you're interested in their church. You can get all sorts of stuff if you're ever looking for a job.
It could just because is this like meet the parents just because they have nipples you can milk them? Okay,
it's similar. Yeah, it's very similar. The Mormons will give you they desperately want to be able to say they converted somebody. So if you want some free food, you can get it.
I did get invited to the cookout already. Like the first week I was here, I think everybody wanted to know who the new brown person in the neighborhood was.
Yeah.
But what I actually came up to say was, I don't know if you remember when I said that Candace and Bobert and MTG would all flip on Trump as soon as it was convenient for them.
Yeah.
And that Hegseth and Vance would all hold on until the last minute until Trump is almost certainly going to get removed. And also that the podcast bros would slowly start to flip when they felt like their followers would support the flip. And I think we're seeing all of this happen, and I just want to say I told you so.
You nailed it. Yeah, absolutely. None of them have real principles. They just go where the money is.
Totes. All right,
well,
that's not really all I wanted to say.
Good luck to you, Bobby. Best of luck in Utah.
Thanks, Bobby. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Please come visit me, though, for real.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Sam.
Who?
Yo, Sam.
Yo, Sam.
Oh, hi guys.
Hey.
It's my first time joining this
Welcome.
chat. Yeah, no, thank you. I don't know if you were being rhetorical when you were saying why Trump wants the grand jury transcript, or were you serious? Like, why does he want it? instead of the files.
No, I was asking Republicans why they thought. I thought maybe they could come up with their own answer, but yeah, it's clear why. Because
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but there is a video, Glenn Kirshner's video I watched. He's on YouTube.
Yeah, I love
And
Glenn
he
Kirshner.
said the reason they want it because this case was prosecuted under Bill Barr, and he kept it limited to, Jeffrey, and kind of stayed away from Trump and anybody else. So they like kept it narrowly focused.
Yeah.
And in the grand jury, they control who comes in and out, right? All the witnesses and what they say and stuff. So that's why he wants it, because he knows there's nothing there that's gonna harm him.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good video if you want to play. It's on Brian Taylor's Cohen's podcast on his YouTube.
Okay.
But the Glenn Kirshner is like a prosecutor.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
love.
if you know him.
I watch him all the
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
he's very good.
It's like
yeah, that's a good video if you want to play it. Like, he did it like a couple days ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it.
Other than that, since I have time left, you guys do a great job, and thank you for adding me here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
See it. Hey, who's next?
I'm guessing positive impact.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good Friday over here.
Good.
So, yeah, uh, I have two cousins who are, deep in MAGA, and my one cousin, posts every little thing on Facebook, and I'm always engaging with her, trying to like poke holes and stuff. But it is interesting to watch her kind of implode over the Epstein files and the the she was really far into the QAnon conspiracy stuff and just yeah. So I think
Yeah,
this
how's
is like
that
the
going for
one
her?
thing.
I feel like if you're deep into QAnon, this was like the thing.
The thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And she just kind of spins out and definitely grasps on to every new thing that's put out, like trying to change the narrative, just so because she's in such what's that dissonance,
Cognitive dissonance.
no, that's it.
Yeah.
And and I you could just see it, like she's just struggling so bad to like, wait a minute, all this stuff I've defended for all this time. So just like overdoes on anything else that Trump is saying right now, and yeah, it's pretty
Like she
crazy.
focuses on the everything else. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
just to not have to, yeah, go back to, and so of course I always throw in the when I comment on her stuff, I always kind of throw in the Epstein, but um, you know, like why did they only want the grand jury testimony? Why wouldn't they release everything and just try and make her stay in that discomfort? I'm hoping it cracks her and she starts to come out of it, but
Yeah,
hard to say.
I'm gonna be shocked if this isn't the end of Trump. Like this is the end of there. He's gonna lose way too many people here. He'll keep whatever the base is, but he's gonna lose the QAnon. Like what Trump is actually gonna be left with is just like the Bush Republicans, those who can still sit around and deal with it, like or people who overlook bad behavior but just care about his tax policy. That's kind of who he's gonna be left with.
Yeah.
But the people with like that voted for him on principle, good luck. I don't think you're going to keep those people.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Well,
have a great weekend. Thanks
you-
for all the work.
you too.
Love
Thank
you
you.
guys. All right, bye.
Real quick, Amy Lynn, I just said she's shy coming up, so I want to make sure I read her comments. Said, did you know Texas and California taxes are almost the same? I saw that. I don't know if you're referencing the same interview I'm talking about with Governor Newsom, but I saw him say that, and he explained what he meant by that. Just because the income tax doesn't exist, the amount that you're taxed with everything else, that California and Texas taxes are about the same. I haven't verified that, but I heard him say that. She also said Republicans get screwed because they think bending over is compliance, and goes really well with what you're talking about. I agree with that. All right, who's next, Jen?
Cranberry.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. Hot. I wasn't built for this weather, and despite having been born in Georgia, so I'm we're just kind of surviving now. But see, this is sorry. My girlfriend was laughing at me last week because she saw I was in my notes app, and she saw like a list of like bullet points that are like just kind of nonsense statements. And I know that you have ADHD. I have it as well. I don't know how you deal with this, but I am a very list kind of person. Like I have to have lists to keep my thoughts in order. And so, like if I get on something like this, I need a list so I don't look to my right and see, I don't know, there are a couple cars. Anyway, I need to like order my thoughts. So I'm looking at my list now, which is just how do we fix this? Add me your picture and jokes. So there was kind of like the more solemn question, like genuine question I wanted to ask you was like, after all of this, like in your opinion, where do we go? Like, what do we do? How do we fix what's been because I want to not believe that the damage has been irreparable, you know?
Yeah, look, it's
Sorry, that
never.
was a lot.
No. That's a good question. I think about this all the time. It's not irreparable. I think that I think what people are feeling and often like comply to is inevitable. And I heard somebody talking about this the other day. I don't remember whose live it was on, but there was somebody that was saying basically like I like the game is rigged against you, and so you have to play the game because it's rigged against you. And if you don't play the game, you're going to lose. And I think that there's a lot of people who have just accepted that the game will always be rigged, and you can either join in a corrupt game and be corrupt yourself, or you can change it. I'm not sure. The amount of damage that winds up being inflicted by Trump is going to probably be give us a better indicator of where we go. If Trump not only has all this Epstein stuff, but let's just say that he fucks the economy up too. And we also have, I think it's likely that Pete Hegseth is going to be removed as Secretary of Defense. If enough things go poorly, then there will be this overcorrection, and it'll be a hard shift to the left. And if that's managed in a way where we put in, where the people on the left put in policies that are going to be popular long term, specifically universal health care, then yeah, I do think that you can make significant changes. What I don't have a lot of faith in is the left's ability to capitalize on a situation where people are looking for a market change. So if Democrats aren't willing to protect labor and apply a safety net, give people a safety net, do things that people want, like maybe a guaranteed 40-hour work week or a 32-hour work week, things like paid time off, then I think we're just fucked. Then I think we'll be Democrats for a while, Republicans will win again, and we'll just slide into oligarchy. But I do see there's like kind of two directions this country goes. We either go in the direction of Russia, which is where we're headed, or we go in the direction of like Scandinavia, or maybe even more like Canada, and we'll see. I don't know how we're going to react, but I do think that those are the two directions, that we're either going to have a bigger social safety net, or we're just going to be Russia, where the oligarchs run everything.
Yeah, I guess it does get. I remember it was a couple days ago, I think, where you were talking about how like everything just in general overall is skewing more blue just as time goes on and people become less awful. So I think that gives me hope that it could go in a positive direction. But I appreciate your insight, because I was genuinely curious about
good question
how to think about. And also if you look in the memes, I don't care if anyone else thinks I'm funny. I think I'm hilarious. And I made a picture, and I think you'd enjoy it. And that's kind of it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
All right. All right. See you guys.
See it. All right. Who's next? That was a good question. Thanks for that question.
JT.
What's up, JT?
Hello, Jehovah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. I just saw this pull up on my feed. Lorie Valow now faces 2 more life sentences.
Eat shit, Lorie Valow. Eat shit. Good for her. Good for her. She deserves
so I
it.
just saw that, so thought I'd break that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, I do have one question for you. I saw AOC, she was trending on X or Twitter or whatever. So apparently, so she voted yes for funding Israel's Iron Dome. Do I have that correct? Have you?
I've not come across it. Let me look real quick. It's iron. She said a few years ago, AOC voted present on the Iron Dome funding and then cried in front of Pelosi. So she says, I guess she sent a letter apologizing to constituents. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like she voted present on an Iron Dome vote from I don't know what year. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just wondering because I saw, her campaign office being vandalized and stuff because something to do with that, and I should have read more into it, but you're my news guy, so I thought I'd ask you about that. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll look into that. I'll see if I can cover it on Monday.
all right, cool.
Okay,
yeah, that's all I had for you.
all right. Thanks, dude. That'd be disappointing.
Yep.
That is disappointing that she voted present. I'll have to. I don't know if she has a good excuse for that or not. All right, who's next, Jen?
I love you. Stop asking.
We love you, Jen. But save sucks.
Thank you. I need that every Friday to keep going.
We wanted to change up the order and see if he would cut us off. I was like, maybe pause a little, but don't pause too long because she'll definitely disconnect us.
I loved it. Jen, do you want to say anything to that, Jen? You want to say I love you too?
No.
No.
I did have like an actual, not exactly question, but like I was listening to a live over the weekend or during the week sometime, and they were talking about how everything made from China sucks, right?
Sure.
I mean, I know it doesn't because a lot of the stuff that we buy is Chinese, whatever. My point or question or whatever is, I also read an article that basically says it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't find the quality of stuff that you used to in the 50s because nobody has pride in workmanship.
Yeah, I think that's like I think that's a good way for people to avoid saying capitalism fucked everything up. Because it used to be that you made things with care, like it wasn't about mass production. I was thinking about this the other day when I bought like a chair or like a, I don't know how to explain it, just like a chair that like floats in the pool. It's a blow up, but you can never find like a quality pool toy. And I was thinking about this chair that we had when I was a kid, and I realized after a while that maybe somebody made it, but it was, those old beach chairs that I don't even know how to explain what that material is, but like you can scratch it with your fingers. It's really tough, and there'd be like 3 bands around the bottom and then around the top, and you'd have like a metal folding, just like fold in half beach chair. And then this had like foam that you'd lay your hands on. So it was like you would sit in a beach chair, but it would float. And we had that. I bet my parents still have it. It's been around forever. And I was just thinking, like, I would like that because then I wouldn't have to buy one of these new things every time. But there's just there's no incentive to give people high quality stuff. I think a lot of times we talk about America in terms of like, in the good old days, we did things this way because we had pride. No, it's because that's how we did them. And capitalism fucks all of that up. If you want to do something now where you have like a quality product, the labor hours are so expensive that you have to charge an arm and a leg for anything of quality. You can't, you're not going to be competitive with mass production. So I think that's more or less what it is. And you're not incentivized if you are IKEA, for example, to make furniture that lasts, because that means it's a one-time customer. You want that customer to come back every 3 or 4 years. So you try and find like that window where people expect a product to last this long. And we've slowly like whittled away at that. So now people are like, oh, if a product lasts a year, that's pretty good. I got a year out of it. That's great. So I think that's really what happened. I think it has nothing to do with American pride or like pride in the work that we do.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree. What I was wondering, though, is like, is there a way to get back to that? Like, obviously, universal health care, social safety nets and all that, but is there a way to promote the pride in quality.
I mean,
Attitude.
you could, I mean, like, it's significant. Actually, somebody said your problems are with globalism, not capitalism. Those are, I kind of like, I kind of agree, but that is capitalism. Capitalism is globalism. I don't know. I think that there's some things that you can take pride in, but America, we're just not a manufacturing country anymore. Like, we don't make quality goods that are going to be inexpensive. I think if you want to focus on quality, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't see a way that you can make quality products at an affordable price with most things. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get back to that.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and Jay sucks.
Yeah, Jay sucks.
Jay sucks.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good weekend.
I don't know which one we say. All right. Jay sucks really loud.
Jay sucks.
Jay sucks. Bye.
See ya. That's a good question. Somebody, I need to give some thought on that question, but I think some of you might have more thoughtful answers on that. Dude Man, is that who's next?
Yep.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, I wish I was half, I wish I committed half of my brain power to a lot of the knowledge and stuff that you have, because it's great when you can hold people, when you can hold their feet to the fire and they start to squirm, like Mr. Don't Get Emotional. Those people, to me, like, I don't know, I'll just not say it. I choose violence anymore. I like when people sit there and try gaslighting and all of that stuff. Like, I literally just got out of jail a couple of days ago.
Oh, congratulations! Welcome back.
Yeah, punching a Nazi. Hey, so
is this older millennial? Sorry,
no,
too soon.
But this motherfucker, it's just, when they sit there and they're like, don't get emotional. It's like, dude, you're saying some crap that's like upsetting. And you're expecting to have like a normal No, we're not having a normal conversation about it. You either can understand this or don't. And then they're like, oh, see, you're just upset. And it's like, answer what I said. Oh, no, man, you're just upset. You need to check your emotions. It's like, so conversation over. We're fighting now. Like, it's like, is that really what you wanted, my guy? Because
so you're just going straight to a fight. Yeah,
because I'm over it, man. Like, we can talk. Like, I wish I was as smart. I'll say it again. I wish I was half as fucking smart as a lot of the people like you. Like Isaiah, holy crap, that pissed me off. He should have gone there with a freaking friend. And as soon as that dude came up behind him, well, no, because no.
Yeah,
jail.
and it's worse, right?
Anyway,
look, Isaiah's an incredibly intelligent person. He knew he was going to get arrested. He knew what he was doing, and I applaud him for doing it. My main thing is like,
he's got my vote.
I would just say this: like, you're every bit as smart as any of us. Like, this is my job, and it's Isaiah's job. Anything that you dedicate your time to, you can become an expert at. This happens to be what I dedicate my time to, but we are capable of that. My only thing is this: I try really hard, and I don't always get there. But I think that there's two types of emotions and emotional outbursts. Some are good. One is good. One is bad. If you are emotional because you understand the impact of something, or you understand the details of something, and somebody's not having a good faith conversation, I think that's more justified. But what I find in watching debate, and I've done this certainly, and I try to avoid it, is that a lot of times when people get emotional, it's when they're stuck, when they can't explain their position thoroughly enough that it's getting through, and that's an incredibly frustrating place to be. So the only thing I would say is that when you find yourself getting emotional, I try this, and again, I'm not perfect at it. I'm working on it every day, but I try and analyze, like, am I emotional because I think that what this person is doing is evil, or I think that they're purposely not understanding it, or is it possible that I'm not explaining this in a way that makes sense to them so they don't understand my emotion? And I think that, like, if we take a little bit of time to self-reflect when we do get emotional and be real honest with ourselves, like, why was I emotional there? Was I emotional because I was embarrassed? Was I emotional because I was frustrated? Or was I legitimately emotional because this person's like, yeah, fuck the Palestinians, they should go? Like, different, being emotional in those situations are two very different things. One of them is just you feeling insecure. The other one is like, you're advocating a genocide. I'm going to be upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I'm kind of a spread of all of that because
So, you do 2 minutes for each person for these. So
That's all right. That's all right.
so-
Let him finish because I went for a long time. Just go ahead. Finish real fast. That was my bad.
yeah, and then I'll just hop off because it's just it's because it is a lot of it is like I get stuck at the end road of like being able to pull out like factual information like that one, like what you were saying. It's like, no, dude pled guilty, then got the pardon. But he's like, well, no, see, he didn't even plead guilty. It's like, no, like, listen, follow along step by step. I'm telling you the reality of how it went. Like, yes, he got pardoned, but yes, he pled guilty.
Right.
And you could see it, like, when you're face to face with these people, you can just see it in their head where they're just like, no, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose. No. Like, what are.
I hear you. I hear you. It's frustrating. But do your best to stay out of jail. see what you can do about that.
I gotta stop going places alone is my fucking problem.
Yeah, you might need a chaperone. You may want to do a chaperone for a little while.
But
have a good weekend.
Appreciate what you all do.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get my butt on out of here.
All right, brother. We'll see it.
Take care.
Bye. All right, who's next? Sorry, Jen.
Sparky Orca.
About me.
You're up.
Oh, no, I have nothing to say. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Cool. Welcome.
Ray DVD.
Hey, Jay. First time, long time.
Hey, thanks. Welcome.
Hey, so just quick observation. These MAGA people, these Q people, they were going crazy, inventing all these pedophile rings and pizza parlors and all that stuff.
Yeah, careful with some of the words because we're still on TikTok. So try and use TikTok. Oh. Yeah, it's all right. I know we're in Discord, but yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah, all these P3DOs rings and pizza parlors, and now Trump is here with this big old red sign saying I was in a P3DO ring, and they don't believe it.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I don't get it. I think part of the problem is they thought it was like this ring of people and not. I think they thought it was more organized than it is. So now when like the lack of organization isn't there, but Trump is all over it, I think some of them are confused because they're like, wait a minute, I thought this was a more coordinated effort. Like I think they thought there was going to be like one of those webs with like red lines connecting everybody, and they were going to have like this whole conspiracy theory leveled out. And it's coming out that it's just like there was a bunch of sick people who interacted with each other, and they're not sure what to do with that.
Yeah, they have this whole It's Always Sunny meme where they're just like putting everything together, and it's super simple.
Yeah,
it's just super simple. I mean, he was in it, and now he's trying everything he can do to cover it up, but it's not really working.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like if you have a brain, like it's not working, but if you're still drinking the Kool-Aid, I guess it is working.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was it for me.
All right, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Have a good weekend. All right, Jen, who's next?
No, we're done.
We're done. All right, Jen, we're going to let you go. Do you have any last words?
No.
You did great. You made it through the whole week. Jen had a tough week, so well done, Jen.
Yeah, I'm here. I think we have to go the gift goal. There's a couple messages that came through. I think I posted them in our chat if you didn't see them.
Did they come through in super? I'll read the super chats. Were there any Venmos that came through? I'll check them. I'll look. All right.
I put everything in our chat, so it's
okay. I'll read these. Thanks, Jen. Kimmy said, Jay and Jen equals greatness. Thank you. Amy Lynn said, make some quality and charge a premium price. Americans are such consumers. They'll buy it if you price it high enough. They call it luxury. Yeah. My dad actually, this is a good example. My dad invented a hinge that allowed like a mirror, like a bathroom mirror to flush mount to your wall, but then you could put recessed cabinets behind it. And he invented that, and nobody could use it. And then he used to buy, but he would just work for himself. He had no employees. It was just my dad. That was his business. And he would make mirrors out of, it was our basement and then our garage. And then we had a barn that we converted to a shop. And eventually it got to the point where the people manufacturing his mirror and the people manufacturing his hinge, they wouldn't sell it to him anymore because he didn't buy in big enough quantities. and there was so much demand for quarter-inch like glass that his business just went under because his purchasing power. And that's a good example. Like, were the mass manufacturers making a handmade like quality product like my dad? No, but were they buying more mirror from the supplier? Yes. So obviously the supplier, when they run out, they're going to cut out my dad, and that's how my dad lost his business. This is one of those things. Like, the more I think about it, I would say that maybe if we want to get back to quality goods, we've got to do something about monopolies. We've got to do something about the Walmarts. We got to do something about Amazon. Like, maybe Amazon should just be a marketplace, but they shouldn't be able to rip off people's ideas. But these mass manufacturers, they're the ones. They can operate on smaller margins. They can operate with losses. They can acquire companies. They can run companies out of business. I think maybe with more thought, taking care of monopoly laws would be really important too. Also, Amy said, I'm number 3 gifted for the day, and that's unacceptable. Goes, thank you. Let me check. Did you win, Amy? Let me double check here. That's not resetting. I see your mommy in the lead, followed by Electric. All right, guys, that's it for us today. Thank you, guys. Thank you. If Jay doesn't look at my meme, I'm going to crash out now that I have hyped it up. So, will you DM it to me, Cranberry? I may not know where to find it. Johnny said planned obsolescence is what it's called. I've never heard that term. That sounds about right. Guys, I'll see you guys. I'll see you all on Monday, bright and early, 9:30 a.m. to 1 Pacific Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching today. You can catch all the replays on YouTube, and if you want to get some of our merch, that's in my bio. Cameo request, that's in the bio. That's in my bio as well. Make sure you support us on Instagram, TikTok, wherever else you hang out online. And once again, just on behalf of me and Jen, thank you guys so much for helping us meet our gift goal every day. We love you, and we love doing what we're doing, and I look forward to seeing you guys again on Monday. Take care of yourselves, stay cute and cool, and have a great summer.